Hello and welcome. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to a Friday. This is the 10th of July.
Folks, I'm about to share a
Oh,
stock with you.
no, 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 no. Okay, so it's basically 10th of July here, and this is the first week ending in July. I think we had a pretty good week. We had a really, really good week. GJ really decided to take a tumble overnight. Overnight, we had a really, really big move when GJ started continue moving down. It's Friday now, so we're looking to, maybe end the day here very soon. Um, Normally, I wouldn't suggest anyone to risk some sort of profits on Friday. Normally, we have a guest here on Friday, and we're waiting for Ty Tillionaire. He's going to be guest here today. So, is it me or Raja is on mute? Oh,
No, Roger, you're fine.
yeah, it's
I can,
probably you.
I can hear you.
Le-
A
Leon kind of
stock that's gone up on the
Leon did a fake
same
out on
date
me over there.
every year for the
Oh,
past.
shut up.
No, Roger, you're
This guy. All right, perfect. Let's take a look here. Let's bring up our Forex factory here for everyone who's trying to trade Friday. Let's bring up our pre-markets here for everyone who's trying to trade Friday. Ooh, they're down. So see, so now pre-markets are down by 150 points, right? It's down by 150 points. So let's take a look at this. What's happening? China news. China unknown disease spreading across Asian country, deadlier than COVID-19. Oh, damn. Deadlier than COVID-19. I guess welcome to Jumanji level 6. This is the Jumanji level 6 now. Damn. No, level 7 because we're moving into July. Man, what a rocky ride 2020 has been so far. All right, let's kind of like zoom in here on the daily and kind of let's see what's going on. So the daily candle came. So now let's take a look at the monthly here first. Monthly has been, so now we had these 3 4 monthly candles that rejected 135, 135, 100, 135, 400, right? So this one here, April, May, June went all the way through this area, came back down, and then you have July that rejected that area again. you know July rejected that. So now what I'm thinking is maybe if we do successfully reject it based on the previous monthly candle that went all the way up and rejected it, maybe like this monthly candle can flip bearish. So for the monthly candle to flip bearish, we want the weekly candles to go bearish, right? So if we look on the weekly is kind of looking like this. Look at this. This is really, really cool. Um, ooh, Ty. Yeah, Ty's here. Ty's going to be here probably later on. I sent him the link, so let's see. Okay, so weekly, we created resistance, resistance, resistance. We had a breakup. We had a candle closing back under resistance. And then we had this was kind of like a retest, bullish candle. This candle came up to maybe do a retest. If the next weekly candle breaks this weekly low, then we're heading down towards this support. So let's remove all these lines and let's go towards the daily. Now looking at the daily, let's remove everything. Looking at the daily, this was the fresh resistance we formed. And this was the analysis sent in the agent session yesterday where we took sells. This is why we took sells, based on the daily. We have the support down here at 134. 134 is a very, very strong level because look, at 134 we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 daily candles rejecting 134. So when daily candles are rejecting like a level or a price, that's a very, very strong zone, right? So let's take a look on the 4-hour now. 4 hours seems like it's tapping into some sort of a support here. It's creating a support. If you look left, maybe there's an area right there it's respecting, but for so far, this is the area it's respecting right over here. 134, 500. In this case, since looking to the left is far away, it's from like 3 days ago. I would say it's negligible, right? So we only go based on this fresh support that price is creating. The rest is entering into some sort of a resistance right over here. Maybe it's doing like a retest to continue down. And let's take a look on the 1 hour over here. Now, the 1 hour also makes sense because, this was a support made yesterday around, after London Open Then we come over here. This is where price started consolidating after dropping in the Asian session. This is the sell that most people took in the Asian session. This all sell right over here. And I guess overnight we fell further down. So yeah, that's going to be an area of some sort of a consolidation over there. So if you see candles creating some sort of a resistance, I think we're going to continue moving down. So if we just adjust this zone kind of like this, we have a support, and then we have some sort of a resistance which price broke, and it continued to go up, right? So this is your 12 pip range, and then above that 12 pip range you have 23 pip range. So now a resistance is going to be formed if you see a bearish candle forming. So right now this candle is open, candles are bullish, so probably it can come up over here. So we're going to wait and see what happens. 15-minute is also kind of like consolidating here now. I may not take a trade. I may not take a trade. I may not really focus on taking a trade on Friday because Fridays are mostly for discussions and talks, and like if someone's is stuck in trades, we try to help you about your drawdown and all that good stuff. Okay. How did you meet? How did you meet Ty? So we were the way we met. Actually, no, someone recommended yesterday. I used to watch his videos on YouTube. I think they're pretty hilarious. Like some videos are really hilarious. Some videos he has his mic over here and he's like smoking a joint, smoking a backwood, and just talking. And I'm like, wow, man, this is crazy. This is hilarious. So, and someone mentioned it yesterday. We were looking for a guest, and yeah, it came from there. I messaged him, and then we worked it all out. Is the refresher in description the 12th? No, it's on Sunday. Um, yeah, it's on the 12th July. It's on Sunday. Can the webinar be still purchased after a live? No, it cannot be. It cannot be purchased after a live, but if you do register, you will get the recording. So you can't, this is just a one-time thing. If you do it, you do it. Otherwise, it's just, that's it. So our guest is going to be, let me just, his name is pretty hard, man. All right. I'm gonna put up his Instagram here. That's our guest for today here. All right, put it right at the bottom.
Fine.
Looks good. Yeah, it's probably you.
I can hear you.
All right, our first chart for the day. Let's take a look at this. First chart for the day. This is GJ 1 hour broke resistance. Could we see it going up? Yeah, you can see it going up, but for it to continue going up, it needs to break this minor resistance, right? That's the only way it's going to go up. So it needs to break this minor resistance. If it doesn't break this, then we're not heading up. So we got CAD employment change, we got CAD unemployment rate. Ooh, we got big CAD news today. We got some CPI news here as well. Let's take a look at gold here. Gold is still at 1809. Hasn't really broken up towards 1815 again. Well, looks like it's kind of like trying to go back up here. So this is the area where it may come up to on the 1 hour. 4 hour also makes sense over there. Look at the 30-minute. 30-minute has clean candles going up. We created a support right here on gold. Gold spreads are still high, right? Is gold spreads high? Yeah, gold spreads are still high. 3 pips, 4 pips. Do you recommend baby pips or your drive? I recommend baby pips. I recommend baby pips. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is gold 30 minute. I'm expecting price to come down and retest the 30-minute area, then continue bullish to fill the area to the left. Yes, that could still happen. Ooh, I guess if you look at this candle now, you'd see that this candle closed. This candle closed like a bearish candle, but with no wick at the bottom, right? Which means there's no range at the bottom. So people who ask questions about what does a candle mean when it has no wick at the bottom, this is what it means. Like if you have a bearish candle with no wick at the bottom, this means there's no range for the next candle to go down. You know, when there's no range for the next candle to go down, then I mean, you know, this is why candles leave wicks. You know, when there are wicks left, right here, you know, wick gets filled. You have wick over here, wicks get filled. If a candle has no wick, then there's no range. You know, this means the price didn't even try going down. So the next one has the higher chances of going up. Hey, may I ask how you adjust your chat aside from zoom in and out? The one that you shrink and make it wide. What do you mean? Like this? So I have a mouse, and this mouse has a mouse wheel on it. You get this after you reach the six-figure trader's balance. Once you get this mouse wheel, and then you're able to do these things. So you need to get to a six-figure trading balance over there. Will the link for Saturday webinar? No, it's on Sunday, man. It's on Sunday. Let me make it much more clear here. We changed the dates. All right, there we go. Ooh, let's take a look at this chart. This is GJ 30 minute. Just a trading idea. I want to understand why it shouldn't be a good idea to take this sell. It will not be a good idea to take this sell because the 30-minute candle is still open. That's why it's going to be a bad idea to take a sell, because the previous candle closed bullish, so we don't know whether this will go bullish or not. We just don't know that because it's still open. When a candle's still open and the previous one is bullish, we don't know if it's going to go bullish or not. And as you can see on the 15-minute, like, so that's a bad, this is an example of a bad trade because the candle is still open. If this candle closed bearish and then you took sells, then it would make sense. Then I'd be like, oh yeah, you know what? Good on you, perfect. It makes perfect sense to take sells. But the way it's moving right now, I've been like, you know, it can come up to 134.830 or it can close bearish, you know, so we don't know. Still got time. Do you know how I can get free capital for trading? I feel like my skills are ebbing, wasted daily on demo for 9 months. How can I get free capital for trading? Man, you need to go work. You need to go get a job. You need to go do something. You need to get, I mean, what kind of question is that? How can I get free 10 million to trade? You know, like, damn, if someone's giving you free money to trade, I need some money too. Free money. Yeah, get the After Effects money. Shouldn't say those names on live anyway. All right, let's take a look at this trade. What's this? This is, let's see here. Price made new lows. Okay, perfect. Price made new lows. Price retraced and touched old support. Okay, 30-minute close bearish confirmation. Okay, executed sell. Yeah, see, the problem here was when you executed sells right at support. This is the problem. Let's take a look here. So basically, you executed sell. So okay, let's take a look at this, right? So after these two candles were formed, you got a support formed, right? This is indication of support formed, and this is big rejection. You have a bullish candle forming now, and now you have a support formed in this area, which will be right over here. You have a support formed. And now you have this bearish candle forming, and now you got to ask yourself, right? You got to ask yourself, this bearish candle has formed. Has this bearish candle broken and closed below support? That's what you have to ask yourself. And the question is going to be no. Question is going to be no. And then you'll say, well, maybe then it's not a sell. Let's say you do take a sell and price comes down into profit and then closes right over here. Now you have to decide, okay, do I want to close? I mean, this wasn't a sell. Maybe you could have taken a sell at this candle because it's kind of like closed below all these candles here to the left. But even with this candle, the stop would have been way too big because look, it would have been from like 134, 420 all the way up to 124, 54, like 12 pips, but still would have been risky. So it wasn't a sell when you took a sell, but even if you look on the 15-minute here, yeah, see, so this was the candle that closed 30-minute like this, right? So if you look on the 15-minute, the candle closed like a weak bullish candle, weak bearish candle, which means there's less volume, and maybe this move was a fake out right here. This move was a fake out. Now that I look on the 15-minute. Beautiful. I'm not hating, y'all way more lit than the gulag, but these are advanced traders, and y'all going to ask questions they're gonna laugh at. No, not really, not really. We don't laugh at all questions. But like if someone asks where can I get free money, then of course that's a laughable question. Like in the real world, people are really gonna laugh at you if you ask them where can I get free money. GU, arrow down, arrow up. Entry over here, stop loss under there. I think it's at a minor resistance over here. If it breaks this resistance, then can continue going up. That would make sense. Let's take a look at the Chinese indicator here for a little bit. Take a look at our trusted Chinese indicator. So Chinese indicator is saying pound is really, really strong. Pound is really strong and the dollar is really weak. CAD is really weak. This means that maybe a GU is going to head up. Let's take a look here. Okay, kind of see it as at this minor resistance over here. So it needs to break this minor resistance to probably come up to over here, right? Because the Chinese indicator is saying we're going to continue going up. If it says we're going to continue going up, can you take a buy over here? The answer is going to be probably going to be no. Because, or actually, let's take a look at this. So if we are really forming support here, right? If we're forming support here, we're breaking up above this minor resistance. I think there could be a possibility that will continue going up. Let's take a look at GPCAD here as well, because the Chinese indicator said that GPCAD is a buy as well. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame. 4-hour as a resistance. I think GPCAD is going to continue moving up, even though GPCAD is coming up to a resistance, and some people are going to say, okay, you know what? We're going to take a sell because it's at resistance with no confirmations, with no candles closing bearish. They'll take a sell and they'll probably no, wait, there's CAD news here. Okay, there's CAD news here. So if they're expecting, well, they're expecting good news. Unemployment rate dropping. Yeah, they're expecting good news. And Canadian economy is opening now. So, it's opening now. Unemployment rate is dropping. Employment change is becoming bigger because more people are going back to work. So it could be good news. If it's good news, then GPCAD should potentially drop. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on CAD. I'm going to keep an eye on CAD to see what happens. I know about the mouse scroll to adjust the chat. The thing you always do when you look at 4 hour just to have a clear view. How do you do that? I don't know, man. I have no idea what you're asking me. Someone is asking me some stuff about zooming in, zooming out. I just don't know.
Hey, Roger, I think he's referring to, when you on the side where the price is, and I
Hmm.
think you just make like that. That's what I think they might be referring to, that bit. The way you
Oh,
just all click and go up and down, like that. Yeah,
yeah.
okay, it might be that.
Yeah, you can just do this.
Click on the price and just go up and down, and that will increase and decrease the candle size.
Yeah, I thought this was like a very simple, normal thing. Uh, who's the English lad? Oh, that's Yasser. Stay strong, guy.
That's the one.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at UJ over here. USDJPY, 4 hour, daily, weekly. Let's start with the weekly, right? Weekly is in a range, but seems like it's coming down. Let's take a look at the daily. Daily is also coming down here. Looks like it may come up to like, 106, 400. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. 4 hours also bearish. Ooh, look at that. So bearish. Looks like it's coming into the support. I may want to say that maybe neglect the support because it's too far away, but now that this candle is still open and we look left, there's some sort of a rejection over there. So we're going to keep that on. Looking at the 1 hour, we basically broke below this area here, 107, and continued down towards 106, 730. So maybe there's going to be some sort of a, I don't know, like a retracement, like maybe like a little bit of a correction. But here's the thing about the weekly candles, right? The weekly candles are about to close today. Weekly candles are going to close. So now the weekly candles may continue pushing in the direction they're pushing. Like let's say if the weekly candle is bearish, it may continue pushing bearish. If the weekly candle is bullish, it may continue pushing bullish, right? Those things can happen. But at the same time, the weekly candles may start making wicks as well, which means that may start moving the opposite way, right? So if you look on USDJPY and we look at the weekly candle is bearish. Now, the weekly candle, if it starts moving up, making a top wick, that means in the small time frames, price may start to continue up. So if it starts moving bearish, then we may break the support and continue down towards 106, 500. So we're gonna wait and see what happens. All right. Let's take a look at USD CAD here. USD CAD daily. USD CAD daily is in a predicament. It's kind of rejecting this area over here, 1.36. Someone said buys on GJ question mark. I think with that statement, if you also send a chart, I think that's going to help everybody else too. So this is a resistance on USD CAD. We're at this resistance level here. Looking at the 1 hour. Oof, there's so many issues here to the left. See, this is something I don't like. When you see these consolidation areas to the left, it just gives me a little bit of anxiety because like price may kind of like reject or start consolidating. It gets really hard to kind of like see what's going to happen over here. But if we look at, let's say, yeah, USDJPY also has some issues there. So you'd want like a clean kind of like, let's say like this, right? If price breaks above 134,800, then you have this clean candle and you know that there's going to be price will have an easier time moving up towards, 135, 100. Clean candles. When you have all this issues here to the left-hand side, this is like, yeah, it's a lot of stuff happening here. So might as well wait for the news. Okay, buys on GJ. Yeah, I don't know. The 30-minute candle is closing bearish, so I'm not sure if there's going to be buys on GJ. The 15-minute candle is kind of like consolidating here. So I'm not sure this is going to be buys on GJ. You guys have to understand, this is Friday, and on Friday, if you rush to take trades on Friday, there's a very high chance you're going to lose all your weekly profits if you made any. You know, so the best way to protect profits is to basically just sit out on Friday. Let's take a look at this chart. This is took buys as price broke the range, closed half my position as it hit this area, put stops at break even, left the runner which got stopped out. Okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. Man, like 80% of my runners get stopped out. You know, 80% of my runners always get stopped out. So that's fine. And the portions that do keep on running, they run a lot. Like yesterday I had a sell on GJ, which I took from, I think it was somewhere over here, like 135, 200. It ran for about like 50 pips. I closed it around 134, 840, somewhere over here. I think it could have ran much more. I mean, I took it around here, closed like 40, 50 pips. Oof, could have been a 100 pip runner. Good morning. I took sells on GPCAD. What do you think? Price is bouncing on resistance. I think you should wait for the news, right? There's CAD news. I think you should wait for a little bit. I think sells are going to be valid if the 1 hour breaks the low. This 1 hour breaks the low of the previous 1 hour. I think then sells are going to be valid. But other than that, I don't think sells are valid on GPCAD. I don't think so. I don't think so. Will you make a weekly trades take and breakdown? Yes, that's going to be coming up tomorrow. Do you take sells during Asian session? Yes. I took sells right over here around 135, 100. And my bias was taking sells on GPJPY was this. I was looking at this time frame and I was looking at this resistance, and then I saw that, okay, we broke up. Bearish candle means no buys. This candle bearish closed back within the range, so this move up became a fake out. And if there's only one move in the Asian session, then the move, if price couldn't break up, then it had to break down, right? Price had to break down. I didn't take any magic potions or any like mind altering drugs or anything like that. I just saw a price doing a fake out, and if price couldn't break up, it's gonna go down. Very simple, right? And then we had 4 hour momentum as well and entered right over here, and then my stop was somewhere over here around like 10, 11 pips, and then price started to break down. And we had a really good trade. Trading is all about having probabilities. What's the probability where price is going to go? So if you look on the 4 hour, 4 hour had clean candle to the left dropping down. Look at this. This was the clean candle. Price was here. This was the 4 hour candle in the Asian session. Came straight down, clean candle, straight down. So now it's kind of look like it's doing like a retest or something. USD session has started. We might see upward movement on UJ. What do you think? I think you need to send a chart, because UJ made a low and it might continue down from here. So, the gulag needs to send charts on Fridays. I don't get why people have to prove payouts to random people. Exactly, man. Why prove payouts to random people? I'm gonna eat my watermelon at the same time. Yeah, I don't think GPCAD is going to come down anytime soon. I mean, you have news coming on. The news is going to be, it's going to be really good news. I mean, they're expecting it to be good news. So if it's good news, I think it should continue down. But we'll see what happens at news time. We still got an hour and a half left. Um, would you short this 30-minute candle on GJ? Would I short this 30-minute candle on GJ? No, no, because we're in a range. Look at this. We're in this range. Cannot short it because we're in a range. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is CAD JPY 30-minute, buy stop, sell stop. Looks good? Looks good. I think you got this candle closing above over here, and if this is CAD JPY and you're expecting good news for CAD, I think we should continue moving up. So basically you'll have to wait for the CAD news, right? Whenever there's high volatile news, I kind of like wait for that. Jose Pool donated 5 Singaporean dollars. Congratulations. We now have 205 Singaporean dollars in the bank. Around 90,000 more to go since we can buy a Honda Civic in Singapore. Man, they're pretty expensive in Singapore, cars. What do you think about EuroCAD? I think you need to send a chart because I don't look at EuroCAD, so... Oh, you can't send it at the moment. Well, if you can't send a chart at the moment, then you possibly can't trade at the moment either. Right? What's this? Thinking of taking this trade with less risk when the candles break the 30-minute high, but kind of want to wait in case this minor resistance gives me problems. Yeah, that's the problem. See, there's this this is like a police check post right over here, and these are the prisoners escaping the prisoners, escaping the prison. You know what I'm saying? So if we break above here successfully and we come up over here, the prisoners are going to notice that, oh, we got the guards over here. These guards are guarding this price. You know, and the prisoners may start reversing back down. They'll be like, no, 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 we got to go the other way. But then maybe some gladiator prisoner, it might beat up the guards and may break up, right? If it breaks up and starts coming down, then we know that, okay, like, you know what, the rest of the prisoners, they might, you know, now end up start moving up because you have this clean candle here to the left. So it's kind of something what I'm looking at. All right, what's this? EuroCAD. Let's take a look at EuroCAD. Since I'm not trading, I'm going to start looking at pairs now. EuroCAD on the daily. Daily, we are at this resistance. I'm sure everyone trading EuroCAD can kind of like identify that. 4 hour, we broke above this resistance here. Let's kind of like, you know, make the zone much more nicer. And at the same time, we have this area up over here. And it seems like we're kind of like coming down to do a retest or something. Awesome. So this is how the 1 hour is. So I think you'll need to wait for this 1 hour candle to see how it closes. Because one, it's rejecting up over here. And two, it's got a possible support down over here. So let's take a look on the 30 minute. 30 minute, yeah, it's not pretty at all. 30 minute is not pretty at all. It's not pretty. It's pretty confusing. So you'll have to wait. You shall have to wait, my friend. EuroCAD, I think, well, we got a support here in the 30 minute. You got this. I think this is the 1 hour support you have right here, right? So you'll have to wait for the 1 hour to see what happens here, right? For the 1 hour, you'll need to see if this closes above this area for indication that will continue going up, or you need to see if it's going to break and close below this area to maybe continue moving down, right? And it's like a 15, 16 pip range. You'll have to wait. All right, what's this? We got a question incoming. Question on GJ. My question, how can you tell if the rejection candle from yesterday was not just a retracement for price to continue up since the previous bearish candle rejection? What does this mean? What does this comment mean? How can you tell if the rejection candle from yesterday, this rejection candle, was not a retracement for price to continue? Because you look at this indicator that you have, EYES, and you look on the daily, and you look to see that, okay, on whatever this date was, on the 15th of June, 15th of June, price came here, and then the 16th of June candle, it rejected this area, okay? And then the daily came here again and closed below that area, so you think the probability it's going to go up? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't understand that technical analysis. I mean, we're closing below a daily resistance, a strong resistance. Why would it go up? You know, it will not go up. So I think for the most part, as traders, we need to stop looking at things based on what we think. We should start looking at things from what we see. What we think is that, oh, this is probably a retracement for price to continue moving bullish. But what we see is that we are closing below resistance, which will mean there's a higher probability it's going to be a sell. So there's a very big difference between thinking and seeing. Like thinking what you trade and trading and seeing what you trade. Or you get the idea. Yeah, we're waiting for Ty right now. He's probably late. I saw he posted 6 hours ago, so I guess he needs a full 8 hours of sleep or something. So, just waiting. Still have a good time. Hey, from today, visitors from Canada to the UK will not need to self-quarantine on arrival anymore. Oh, nice.
Whoop whoop. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. What's the date today? We're moving in on the 31st. Awesome, man. It's set. First week of September. Awesome. I think I'm going to set the dates for the 4th till the 6th September. Great. 4th till the 6th September.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty good. No more quarantine.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh, someone just closed their buy on GJ. Very nice. So now since this candle moved up, right? Let's say here. This candle moved up, what? 12 pips. So let's say someone missed this move up. You know, someone missed this move up and now they want to say, okay, well, oh man, I missed this move up. Forex is this, Forex is that. Start bitching and complaining. And then someone, a mature trader is going to look at this and say, okay, man, okay, I missed this move. Let's see how could I have caught this move, right? And that's what they will do. They'll go to the 15-minute chart and then they'll look at the 15-minute chart, look at the 5-minute chart, and then they'll go back to look at the 15-minute chart. And now they'll try to deduce some sort of explanation on how they could have caught these buys, right? And then they're going to start to look at, okay, well, clearly this candle didn't close above this area. This candle was bearish. This candle closed bullish, and it still didn't close above this area. But then they'll think, okay, well, maybe we could have taken a chance by having a stop below this area and expecting price to do some sort of a retracement since we had such a big move down. So that's a big maybe. You know, it's a big maybe. Maybe you could have used this small, tiny bullish candle as confirmation. But this will not happen all the time. You know, all the time you won't see a big candle after a small candle. It happens rare, you know. So that's something that they will do. Like, okay, you know what? That kind of makes sense. Yeah, exactly. Looks kind of like more like a rejection, especially when the 30-minute candle was bearish. Um, well, the 1 hour was bullish, so you can kind of say, okay, well, the 1 hour was bullish, and we had like a 1-to-1 risk reward. Okay, okay, perfect. Once you do that, you're like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna keep this in the back of my mind, and I'm gonna maybe if it happens next time, I'm gonna be ready, basically. Do you think the C word is a conspiracy? I think everything's a conspiracy. I think YouTube is a conspiracy to deviate from the things we need to do because all these things they're kind of distractions. They're all distractions. I think a lot of people on Instagram are also conspiracies. They're distractions. Waiting 15-minute candle to close above yellow line and buy. I think it already did close above the yellow line, right? But now it's crowded. So see now the prisoners have escaped. They've come to the yard, and the yard they see the guards here standing with their guns. They're like, y'all better go back inside. And now they're kind of like doing a little skirmish. But if you do break above 134,800, then there's a very high probability that we may continue up towards 135, come up over here. Because this move yesterday, I started looking at the news from yesterday. This is like what, 7 hours ago? No, 12 hours ago around. Yeah, there was nothing. There was nothing considerably I mean, you had China saying something that banks prepare contingency plans. So this was not a economy changing or fundamentally, like solid move. This was just like a plan. They made a plan that this is what something we might do, So this was a plan. So, I mean, if we do break above 134,800, then we may correct this move back to 135, and yeah, it may happen. So we'll have to wait and see. Do you look for opportunities for NY session or already done for the week? Basically done for the week. I'm not going to take any trade here unless it really, really pops out. Oh, what's this? Strong. Okay, perfect. We have a strong bullish push above minor resistance. Waited for 30-minute candle to close. Okay. First 15-minute of next 30-minute candle created a low, flip bullish. Okay. Did not secure anything at 1-to-1. Full position open. Close 50%. Nice. Beautiful. This is awesome. This is awesome, Donnie. So I think you close 50% because this candle closed bearish, so there was a chance it may continue down. So that's why you're like safe here. So that's pretty good. Price ran up to your target. Awesome. See, that was an example of stress-free trading. When you're unsure, you just close a partial position. I think for the most part, when people close positions, they close positions because they're scared, that price may not go to where they want it to go. And when they close positions, what happens is that price goes to the target, and then they look back and say, oh man, every time it happens. So I think it's a good idea to, when you're scared and you're afraid and you're unsure, just close like a partial, close like a partial position. That's going to fix the problem of, oh man, whenever I close, price goes to my target. That's going to fix that problem. Simple. I had the same problem, and I looked at my problem. I'm like, okay, how can I fix this? Maybe close partials. Wake up in the morning, check my trades, and toss my phone. Oh, perfect. Your flat earth theory was this week's highlight. I think it's the truth. I can't wait until Forex is my main income so I can ditch that job. Yeah, it's a long road. For Forex to work full time, it's a long, long road. Do you recommend IC Market as a good broker? For a very long time, I was using IC Markets. I think they were one of the best brokers out there, IC Markets. And then this one time, the trade froze. My position froze. I was in a GPJPY buy. It was interest rates. I opened a 30 lot buy on GPJPY. Actually, it was a buy stop. My account was like $32,000, and then the news came. price went up in profits, and then the whole thing just froze. I couldn't close. I couldn't close at all. I put stops at break even, and then price started coming down. So basically it was like this, right? So this was my buy stop right here. Price activated it, came up, came down, and I had my stop loss right here. It went through my stop loss and went in drawdown. My stop loss never got activated. So I moved my stop down over here. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on here? And then price kind of like bounced around, went up, and then boom, came down and then through my stop loss. And I was still in the trade. Now I was in negative, and then price just started dropping and dropping, and I'm still in trade. My stop loss never got affected, like it never activated my stop loss. So I was in a trade. I saw my account went from from 32,000. I saw it come down to minus 40,000. That's how much it dropped. This thing dropped a lot that day. And then I called IC Markets. I'm like, hey, what's going on, guys? And then they're like, oh yeah, it was a problem on our end, and they actually refunded me the money. They refunded me everything, not the profits, but yeah, they refunded me everything.
So did that get your blood flowing, Roger?
Oh yeah, man. Like after it went to like negative $500, at that point I accepted it. I accepted 30,000 gone, and it was just like, okay, yeah, I'll just maybe like call them and see what happens. Didn't panic at all. Well, I panicked in the start, but then it was happening so smoothly in front of me. I literally couldn't do anything. I couldn't unplug my computer. I couldn't delete MT5 because it was in the market, you just can't do anything. I took a buy anticipating price to break out impulse entry, dealing with drawdown at the moment. I mean, see, these kind of things really hold you back in trading. I mean, now this trade you took, so someone took a trade right over here, anticipating a push above this resistance when it hasn't broken above resistance. It can go up there. I'm not going to say it won't go up there. It can go up there, but then that's going to make you believe that it will happen all the time. So now that way you're going to be instilling a bad habit. So instilling bad habits is like, you really have to be cautious of what you're thinking, what you're doing. It's really important. You have to protect your mind from the fake opportunities the market is going to show you. You don't even know how to trade. You just trade like 5 pips. Oh, okay, perfect. Let's see here. Let's take a look at this trade.
Sounds like we got a hater.
That's okay.
We love the haters too.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna come and teach us how to trade.
Hey guys,
right?
I'll appreciate if no one talks over me. I'm trying to explain something.
Sorry.
I mean, come on. Yeah, so this makes sense. You have consolidation here, so price is up over here. Oh, you took a take profit here. Yeah, I think the same sort of resistance is at GJ as well. If you look at it. Ooh, looks like it is really trying to break up. We could see a continuation move up. Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's a move up. If we break above 134.800, then yes. But if we start, I think for sells, I'd want price to maybe come back into this range and maybe below this area here. What are some things I can do to increase my win ratio? I think I think it goes back to the point where if you're taking losses, you need to take a look at why you're taking losses. Like, like how could you have taken the opposite trade? That's the most important thing. Most people don't look at that, like when you take a loss, you look at that loss, you're like, man, I'm always taking losses. I'm always taking losses. This sucks. And then that's it. You cry, bitch, and complain, and instead of crying, bitching, and complaining, so CBC, instead of doing CBC, what you need to do is you need to look at that loss and you need to see that, okay, how could I have taken the winning trade? How could I have taken a win instead of taking a loss, right? Let's say if you look at right over here, let's take a look at the 30-minute chart. Okay, let's take a look at 15-minute, right? Makes much more sense. So you had resistance here, price broke up and you took a buy, right? You took a buy after this candle thinking that, okay, you know what, this is a rejection, so I'll take a buy and price will go up. And once it broke the high here, you took a buy and price went down. Now if you do CBC and you're like, oh man, I took a loss, whatever, all this happens this way, this and that, you start CBCing, and then that's okay. But like if you're a mature trader, you're going to take a look at this and you're going to say, okay, you know what? Price went the opposite way. Price didn't go up, price went down, right? Price went down. So someone took this trade. This is what I'm going to think, that someone took this trade, they took the sell. What did they see that I didn't see at that point? And then you start making sense of things, right? You start thinking that, okay, price came back, closed in the range. So maybe this move was a fake out, which I read about all the time. Maybe this was a fake out. So maybe I could have taken a trade in this area here, because if price couldn't break up, it went down. And then you start looking at this, you're like, okay, you know what? This kind of makes sense now. Price went down, it went further down, and then, maybe later on, this was another sell over here. So you start looking at these things and you start making notes. And when you start making notes, you realize that it's going to happen over and over again. And it's true, man. These things happen over and over again. They repeat themselves. So it's really important to look at trades in a way that how could you have had a winning trade instead of being a CBC. CBC means cry, bitch, and complain. My spread on GJ is 34. Can you recommend any broker whose spread is less? Yeah, if you're in the States, I think you can go with a Traders Domain. They have pretty good spreads on GJ. Like right now on a ECN account, the spread on GJ is it's 1.1, 1.1, 1.2. If you compare the spreads with other crypto in, crypto out brokerage, it's pretty good. Do you think what you just explained happens at any time of the day? No. What I just explained, it happens when there's volume in the market. When markets are opening, that's when you have volume in the market. When markets are closing, like London closed, or you have news events, you have like announcements, when there's volume in the market. I've seen someone turn 500 to 200,000 in 1 year on 10 pips per trade. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, anything's possible. Can price make a fake out and come back in the range instead of making the opposite trend move? Yes, that's something that I'm actively looking at. Like if we broke above and if we come back down into this minor range, I think on Friday, like if we come back down over here, I think there's an opportunity for price to continue down. Hey man, respect for the stream and advice you give. I'm changing my trading with you. Oh, nice. Looking forward to have a beer in London in September. Yes. Yes, sir. What's this? Price broke consolidation area. Resisted the very next resistance. Potential fake out. If candle closes in this range, I see sells. Yeah, I see that too. So I think it'll need to come into this area here for potential sells. How about an impulse entry on the break of the 30-minute low? See, now it's a Friday. On Friday, Friday is known as the Freaky Fridays, right? And on Freaky Fridays, you shouldn't take risks. That's the thing. So when you're taking trades based on impulse entries, like when the candles break high or the low, you shouldn't take those risks because it's Friday, and sometimes Friday can have some weird moves, and you'd be like, oh man, I don't know what happened. So if you look on the 1 hour here on GU, we rejected that area now. Wow, look at that. The 30-minute candle rejected that area, and I think it should continue moving bearish. It rejected it. Advice on fake outs, how to predict them. You can't predict fake outs. The resistance that I have marked up in GJ is a 4 hour, 2 hour, 1 hour, 30-minute, 15-minute. It's the same resistance for all those time frames, so very strong. How likely is that market open push can break this? I think if you send the chart of where you have the resistance, it will help us see things better. Because right now we have no idea where you have that resistance. So I think it'll be better to maybe see that chart. But we don't know if it's going to break that or not. I mean, let's say if you have this resistance here, we don't know if price is going to break this or not. Until it breaks it, then we know it's going to break it. Because when you have like strong, zones, price will always break that zone and then it will do like a retest. Because whenever price breaks a strong zone, it always makes a high or a low. So if price breaks a strong zone, it's going to make a high, it's going to come down, create some sort of support, and then continue moving up. In the same way as price created this resistance, this candle broke the high. This candle now, we made a high over here, previous resistance here. So if there's a potential support forming on the small time frame, you can have an opportunity of price coming up, and with NYC open, you can have price moving further up. But for that to happen, price needs to respect, 134.720, which is right over here, 730, 720. Hey, just think, GJ could be out of the woods by Tuesday. Yes, by Tuesday. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Possible fake out to continue downside, sell stop underneath previous candle if candle closed bearish, arrow going down. Yeah, could make sense. I mean, I think if the 30-minute breaks the low over here, it could make much better sense for sells on GU. How your runners are so huge, Raja? Not all of them are huge, man, trust me. There are runners that get stopped out at break even. Like a lot of them. And the ones that do run, they stand out. The ones that do run. I think my biggest loss for this week, was, let's take a look here. Actually, let's take a look at this month. My biggest loss this month was $200, $204. That was my biggest loss. Do you think 134.650 a very strong level on daily? 134.650. Strong level on daily. I don't think so. That's not a daily. It's like a 15-minute chart here. Oh, yeah, that was on a 5 lot. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is GJ 4 hour. Okay. I see. Yeah, yeah, basically, so you'd need price to break above this area here, right? So this is a, it's kind of like a strong area here. This area is very strong because you look now on the 4 hour, it doesn't really kind of like, candles are popping in and out on my chart. Your chart kind of like shows much, yeah, kind of like the same thing, right? So on now when we go into the smaller time frames, we can see much clearly, we can see much more accurately where that area is. So you'd want candles to close above that area for price to continue going up. Yeah, man, we're still waiting for Championship Ballin to show up here today. I think he's probably getting ready or something. But yeah, the way these Fridays go is we have guests on. We kind of like talk about how they started, and like what they're doing now, and what were the the come ups, the breakdowns, and all the situations they had to go through. And next week we're gonna have the team behind funding talent. I know people are gonna get fired up there, but we're gonna have the team behind funding talent next week. It's let me just bring up that Instagram. It's the people behind Forex Tips. If you guys know this account, Forex Tips. Yeah, this account. We're gonna have these guys next Friday. I think it's gonna be pretty good. Oh, 17 new followers. Nice. Thank you. I will keep it real with most traders. You want to be successful? Tell you get capital. Great traders need at least 5,000. Average traders need at least 25,000. That's true. You do need around 5,000, something like that. Do you know Strayed Ninja FX on Instagram? No, I don't. If price goes down in the range, do you think it can go down to 134,420? Yes, I believe it can go down there. If we do come down into this range, I think we can come down towards, like 134,530 and then 420. So we'll have to wait and see what happens here. See, when people talk about this word scam, I think the word scam is used very widely. They don't understand the word scam. So let's define what the word scam is. Scam. A scam is a dishonest scheme of fraud, a guy that scams the elderly out of their savings. So a scam means someone who takes your money and then they run away with your money. That's a scam, right? When someone takes your money, provides you a service, that's not a scam. So, I mean, now most people have seen me talk about on FTMO a lot. I've never once said a scam. I've never once used that word scam because I know what scam means. Like the basic English definition of a scam is when someone takes your money and runs away. I think the people who just throw the word scam around is maybe their first language is not English, So I don't know. Let's take a look at this chart here. This chart is GU. If price drop, break the line, may go down. I agree with that. Yeah, I agree with that. I also think a better confirmation is going to be once the 30-minute breaks the 30-minute low. That's what I'm going to wait for. What do you think about iMarkets Live? Now, iMarkets Live is not a scam. iMarkets Live is borderline. I think iMarkets Live is a scam in a way because they're playing with your feelings, they're playing with your dreams. Because when you go to iMarkets Live, you're shown this world, right? You're shown this world. Look at what you can do. Look at where you can travel. You can trade for your freedom, but there's less trading happening. There's more recruiting happening. Oh, you don't want to pay $200 a month? No problem. Bring 3 people in and your $200 is off. That's what happens. Why did everyone ran out of Traders Domain? Guido Morales. Guido Morales, I think you have a lot of friends that messaged you or emailed you telling you that what they're doing, or are you just making things up? So Guido Morales, don't need to do any gossip over here. You know. What? I think anyone who pays like $200 a month for a service like IMAX Live or anything like that, man, 200 is a lot of money. $200 is a lot. You know how much you can do with $200 a month? Wow, man. It's crazy.
That's 400 chicken and chips.
Yeah, 400 chicken and chips. You heard the man? Man, $200 a month is a lot. You know, you can probably, I mean, okay, a regular mentorship from anyone costs, I'd say average like about like $500, $600, you know, $500, $600. You spend 3 months in IML, you're not learning how to trade, you're only learning how to recruit and do these meetings. You could have put that money into like a good education and then actually made money in the markets. It's crazy. Let's take a look at this chart here. GJ, waiting for support to form on 15-minute candle to close bullish and take the buy. Would enter once pass through. Okay, you're entering right over here. Okay, 870. Makes sense, makes sense. Do you know any good prop firms in the UK? I have no idea. No clue. Yeah, you can buy 5 boxes of mangoes a month, man. From $200 a month. How much can you make from $200 in Forex? I think with $200 you can do around maybe like $10 a day, right? $10 a day, that's $50 a week. Even if you make like, man, even if you make $30 a week from $200, 30 times 4 is $120, you know? Maybe in 1 month you make $120, maybe second month you make $150, third month you make $200. Maybe on that after a year you start making $1,000 a month. So see how this is going, man. People spend years and years and years in their jobs, you know, but like in trading, it takes the same amount of time, if not less. You know, it's gonna take, I would say, man, it takes a 1 year of straight army discipline in Forex to make it work. Just 1 year. That's it. 1 year of doing 1 to 2 trades a day, but no one wants to do that. You know, no one wants to spend a year in discipline. I mean, it's just so sad, man. I see really, really good people here who run their accounts up, who have crazy good weeks. I see them, you know, every day, and then this one day they just blow it all off, over trading, over risking. Like, what the fuck? Why? You know, there's no need for that, man. Trust me. Because you're all good traders, you run up accounts, and one day you just go full retard mode, man. Like, you gotta relax in those days. All right, what's this? We'll consider buys with a close above the zone. Yes, Mark, this looks pretty good. Looks pretty good here. Break above over there. Look at GU. Yeah, I think a break below this 30-minute can potentially bring price down too. Could you please check this Himura FX live stream scanner on YouTube? Himura FX. Discovered it last week and it looks really sick. Well, here's the thing. If you want someone else's opinion on something which looks sick to you, then it's probably not as sick. Right? Hey, your rants are best short, to the point. Yeah, very to the point. You know, we're selling this place, and this guy came. This guy came, this realtor, and he wanted to take pictures. Actually, no, that's an unrelated topic. You can't turn 500 to 5,000. It's not hard. Then start to be less risky, easy, and fast capital. Yes, I turned 500 to 5,000. I think Ted ran like 6,000 to a million. That was on IC Markets. We saw that happen. It was pretty sick. Yeah, damn. I was like, damn, son. From 6K, he went to like 12K, from 12K to 15K, from 15K to 18K, and then 18K to 23K. That was in one day. 18 to 23, that was in one day. and then from 23 turned to like 28, 28 turns to like 35, 35 turned to 50, then 50 turned to 60, and 60 turned to like 88. And it was incredible. It was incredible. That was like a test to see that, okay, can we really robotically trade based on the way we trade every day? So he set aside 6,000, and I'm like, all right, let's try it. Um, just like Sean, just like Sean ran like 5,000 to what, 600,000, so anything's possible. There's a guy that turned 500 into 30,000 in 1 week on YouTube, but he blew it all. Yeah, 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 exactly. How long did it take him to do 1 million? I think it was like a month, something like that. A month. But at the same time, like he also had a bankroll. I think it's really easy. I think it's really easy to run up accounts. Like let's say if you have a $10,000 account or like $5,000, it's really easy to run up a $10,000 account if if you have bankroll. If you have money in the bank, because now there's no stress. You're like, okay, you know what? I have money in the bank. If I blow it, that's okay. I have money in the bank, so I'll trade fearlessly. So if we look at the 15-minute right now, this 15-minute is breaking the high of the previous 15-minute. And if we believe that it's breaking the high of the previous 15-minute before the NY Open, and if it's going to continue moving bullish, then it needs to respect this low over here. But then again, 15-minute is a weak confirmation time frame, and since it's a Friday, I would say you'd want to wait for confirmations on the 30-minute time frame. But if we do continue breaking the high, I think the 30-minute is probably going to fill this wick up over here. Yeah, could be like a smaller trade and anticipate the NY Open to really push price bullish. So, still speculations over there. Do you know Berat? Yeah, Berat got exposed. Berat got exposed. The reason someone asked me yesterday, why do I post my the trades from my terminal that I take on Instagram? And the reason I do that is because if someone can come around and they start to expose me, I'll just send them over there. I'm like, hey, go look at that. And plus, you can find us here every day, if you want to talk to us. So it's not like we're hiding. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. This is GJ. Price pullback, can't close below previous. Yeah, so you're looking for a break above here to go up. Yeah, I think Ty is running late today.
Boss, I'm off, so I'll see you next week. Thank you very much for the week.
Hi, bro. Thank you so much for coming up.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Stay safe, stay strong.
Stay safe. My broker Wanda has larger spreads. Would you recommend having a stop loss that's a few pips larger to mitigate risk? Hope this makes sense. Yes. Yes, if you have a larger spread, then you cannot trade the smaller time frames. That's something you have to sacrifice. You cannot trade the small time frames if you have a larger spread. EJ completely reversed on me and stopped me out. All right, let's take a look at that. EJ completely reversed and stopped. Yeah, because there are guards over here, man. Like, I don't know why people are trying to take risks on a Friday. Look at this. There are all these levels over. Look at all this consolidation here. On the 15-minute chart. Like, if you're the prisoner, you started going up and the guards saw you. They're like, no, man. You're going back in the hole. So it came down. All right. Let's take a look at this chart. Ooh, GU is breaking the low over there. Yeah, I think it can continue moving bearish. Let's take a look at this chart. This chart is, you have free traffic here in your JPY. I think better to look at your JPY is going to be through the 4-hour chart, right? Because if you look on the 4-hour chart, if we extend this area, you see this was a kind of like a rejection area right over here. So if you look on the 1-hour, yeah, I think you'll need to see, now it's creating a resistance. You probably need to see a break above all this area. I say even a break above like 127.20 would be better, because that's going to be a break above all this ranging action that we have here on the left. Raja, do you offer a course? Well, if you can find it, you find it. If you can't find it, then you can't find it. Thank you for your words. Sometimes when I lose my profits, I feel really bad, but you always motivate me. Yeah, man. Like, you can't. The one thing is, don't lose profits. Don't lose. Even if you're up for the week by like $2, $3, $10, man, you're still in profits. Trust me. There are a lot of people who are ending their weeks in losses. And I think you can use that as learning opportunities. I've started posting videos on my trades I take during the week. I think that is really helping me in looking over what I've done, the mistakes I've done. So I encourage everyone to do that. So look at this now, right? These prisoners, they started to go up when we were talking about it. They saw the police over here, and the police sent them back to the hole over here. So now if they come below 134.720, it's going to come back in the range. What books did you read when you first started? I read Trading in the Zone. I think I read the last 20 pages or the last few chapters. And then I read 10 Essentials of Forex. Yeah, that's what I read. 10 Essentials of Forex. I read a couple pages of that too. Actually, I read the consolidation part on 10 Essentials to Forex. This is the book right here. 10 Essentials of Forex. Yeah. This is the book I read. I basically opened the contents and then I read about consolidation. Damn, GJ stopped me out by spread at 785 and then drops. Oh. I don't know why, man, like, just let's not take unnecessary risks on Friday, I haven't taken a single trade in this New York session. Not a single trade. Would you recommend Central Fund Trading Company? Yeah, I think every company is very good. You can do your own research and analysis. Can I play soccer with your mangoes? No, man. You can't play soccer with my mangoes, because that's going to make the mangoes soft, and no one likes soft mangoes. What's this? The TY gang. Oh, TY gang and the Gulag gang. What time is the guest coming? Well, the guest was supposed to be here like now. but I guess he's sleeping or something. Yeah, we got news coming in like 40 minutes for CAD. We got some pretty big news on CAD coming in 40 minutes. So we're gonna see what happens here. We got unemployment change, unemployment rate. I think it's going to be pretty good. The unemployment change is going to be good. Unemployment rate is going to be low. It's going to be low in unemployment rate because the economy is doing really good. People are going back to their jobs. Yeah, the fast food stores are open now. The restaurants are opening up back up now. The malls are open now. The malls are open now. And yeah, I think it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty good, mate. Looks like we're coming back down now. There's a very high chance price will continue moving down. At this point, you can say there's a 99% chance price will continue moving down. 99% chance. Because we couldn't stay up, so this is a minor fake out, and we should continue moving down, man. 134.640, and then once we break 134.640, we're coming back down to 134.540. And no, I'm not taking any more trades. And if you look at GU broke the 30-minute low as I talked about. No, as we talked about. and we're continuing down now from that point too. So now if you've missed this trade, you could look at that and say, okay, well, maybe if I would have entered over here, and if I would have had a stop above this current candle, maybe then could I have had a winning trade. And then you can take this information, and you write it down in your little book in your mind or wherever you want to write it down, take a picture, and then you're like, okay, you know what? If this happens the next time, there's something I saw in Raja's stream and he mentioned it, so I guess I'm going to take a look at that and see if it happens often enough. And then once you see it happen often enough, you're going to insert this trade strategy or whatever you want to call it, and then you'll start trading it. That's how trading works, like you watch something happens. If it makes sense once, you start to see if it's going to make sense 10 more times, or if it's going to make sense, like 8, 9 more times or 20 more times. And then after you see it happen over and over again, then you start executing on that formation. Yeah, that's how you evolve as a trader. That's how you get better. Now look, like we know if this was a fake out, price needed to come below here, and it's coming down. Did I take any mind altering potions or DMT or something like that right now? No, I did not. I did not take that. It's only because we see things happen over and over again, so there's a very high chance they will happen again. Raja got to the Forex dance, so TY should show up. Trade gang. Raja, you smoking your joint ski today? No, I'm actually smoking this thing over here. Stay faded. It says stay faded. This is I will call this a CBD. This is a CBD. Did you journal your trades in the beginning? If yes, how? Yeah, so I would used to take screenshots, I would take screenshots of before, and then I would take screenshots of the after. And then I would kind of look at that and say, okay, how was my performance? How could I have done better? If I took a loss, how could I have taken a winning trade? Those things, I look at those things all the time. Would you recommend Pepperstone? Yeah, sure. I haven't used Pepperstone, but seems like they're pretty good. And if you look now, GU is fallen now, man. It's almost fallen like 10 pips. 10 pip gang. Ooh, Ty just messaged me. He's like, I fell asleep. Yeah, we figured. See that? Now GJ has broken below 134.640. There's a very high chance it's going to come down to 134.540. Do you think GJ can make new lows? With GJ, anything can happen. GJ can reverse and make new highs. We never know. But what we see is that it may continue down to maybe fill this wick here and then maybe to 134.540. All right, so the guest is going to be on in 10 minutes. We just got confirmation that the dragon is awake. And in 10 minutes. Ooh, look at this G. Wow, so nice. Stress-free speculating. I've taken no trades, just speculating. GPCAD also. See, we talked about this. If it breaks the low over here, came down. How much did this move? Oof! Oh, what? This moved 20 pips. Wow, GPCAD, so volatile. You guys are so caught up on guests. Sheesh. Man is an IG all day, has a YouTube channel. How many money here? What pairs would be good to trade for CAD? What pairs would be good to trade for CAD? CAD pairs. First time I let my trade run 10 pips, closed half, happy as F. Oh, very nice. Beautiful. Yeah, guys, I mean, if you're enjoying the stream so far, just there's a thumbs up button. Just smash it. Just click it once and see it go blue. Because in this stream we see blues all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes the losses, but most times we see blues. We give free money away. Wow, look at that GU trade. For my GU sellers, give a like. For my GJ sellers, come on, man, give a like. For my people getting stuck in ranges, give a like. Yeah, that was pretty good. Where's the Thai guys trade gang in the building? Oh, they're probably over here. Did you use IC markets before? If so, yes, opinion. Yeah, they're pretty good. You can try it. So why so much hate in the Forex community? Money and ego. No, it's not about, I don't know if there's any hate. I think people just get bored. That's what's going on. I mean, sometimes I get bored and I start trolling. People think I'm hating, and then I troll lightly here and there, and then that's it, and then when other people get bored, they do the same thing. So every now and then it's really good to have some drama, it keeps things, I'd say it keeps things very entertaining. What's the most you made in a trade? I think it was like 36. Yeah, around 36,000. Significant differences with EU. Yeah, I mean, I think you need to send a chart. Why do you guys call YouTube group the Gulag? So basically, the Gulag is a term. It's a very historical term based on Russia, where they exile some farmers and stuff like that. But the way we reference it with Call of Duty, when you play Call of Duty and you're a bad player and you die, you get sent to the Gulag. The Gulag are the weak players where they have to fight each other to come back into the game. So that's why YouTube chat is called the Gulag. And if we see now GJ is now, we did break below 134,650, broke and closed below, and then now we're coming down. I think now if you're in this trade, you can maybe secure positions or let it run till 134,540. See, now there was no confirmation of breaking up. We did make a fake out, came down, and now look, we're trying to head down now. Beautiful. How big was this? Ooh, 13, 14 pips. I think GPCAD fell more. Yeah, a little bit more. GU also fell all the way down to the support. Man, oh man. Damn, man. So good. We are so good. Shit, man. This, seeing days like this, you kind of say, okay, you know what? We're not dumb. Like, we know what we're doing.
This is a Freaky Friday move, man.
Yeah. But it made sense. There was no weird moves.
Yeah.
Just simple price action.
Because I know I see this happen every Friday. Like the candle, like either is bullish or bearish, but if the candle push all the way back up, it reverses, and it's in a downtrend, it's gonna fill that wick back. So I was looking out for these sells.
Yeah.
I took it on the break of the 30 minutes, but I only took 10 pips because it's Friday. So
exactly. Why you didn't take this trade? Because I decided not to trade on a Friday. How would you have known to stop your trade if you were in buy? That question, I think we need to give a round of applause to that question, but I think that's a very important question. If you were in a buy, how would you have known to close the trade? I think it depends when you were in a buy. I mean, if you were in a buy over here, kind of closed bearish, maybe you would have closed. Maybe over here you would have closed. I mean, with every bearish candle, you could have just closed, Hey Raja, thanks for the constant knowledge. I actually found one of your old posts with the market timing, and it's helped me take trades at specific times. Oh, nice. Yeah, man. We only focus on high volume times. High volume gang. Wow, look at that. GPCAD broke that low and 20, and I closed already, like Kevon said. Oh wow, yeah, this doesn't count. This doesn't count. You're supposed to tell everybody you're in a trade. All right, I'll be right back.
Oh no, I thought it was.
You know, whoever was mentioning when to close the trade, like the way I look at it is like take a small loss, and then if your trade was right, you could always re-enter.
What do you mean, bro? It's me.
Mac.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you was in buys?
Yo, those sales. I sent the chart.
Oh no.
Here,
Someone
look.
earlier asked rakeel when they know it's time to close a trade. Like I've been closing trades. Like if my trade runs at me negative, like I start closing them out with like a small loss, and then I look forward to enter the trade. So if it goes back to my original entry again, I'll enter the trade.
Right. So yeah,
Yeah.
you re-entered like yesterday or the day before yesterday, I think. Remember that it was tapping, I think 540 or 135, 500. Then it went back again, and then I think you re-entered again.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
you see
but
that
just
8
try
a.m.
to keep your loss small. Like that's the goal of trading. Like before it hits your stop loss, you could either try to edge out of it or you could just close it out and then just look forward to re-enter the trade. Like yesterday, I took all buys on GJ and it didn't work out for me. And I ended up taking a small loss with 5 positions.
I took one loss and one break even. Posted it on my Instagram. I was in
Although,
profits.
even though you know it's stuck in that range, and my thing was I know it could come back again, but I didn't want to chance it because when it starts ranging, it could break to the top or the bottom, which
Or the
GJ broke
bottom.
down yesterday.
Right.
You know
Like
what I mean?
yesterday, right? Like it was really hard to get an entry on the sales, so I missed the whole move. I'm not mad about it, but you know I could have set up a sell stop, but I didn't. I was like, you know what? I took one loss and one break even, and I'm like, I'm done for the day. Yeah,
I guess.
it was a horrible day for me. Not horrible, but you know I could have made some money.
Yeah, but yesterday, I think that's the time that I've been more disciplined because usually when I take anything more than 3 trades, like my losses are usually bigger. So I'm proud of myself that I took 5 trades and it was not even comparable, not even 1% of my account.
Oh
You
wow,
know?
that's really good.
So I was super proud because I kept on taking those buys and it just didn't work out, and I just kept on closing them out.
Right.
I'm like, okay, if it comes back to here, I'll
I had-
enter again.
I had the same mentality yesterday, like taking buys, and you know it just didn't work out. It wasn't the range. The guy got stuck in the range and broke up, and then out the blue at 9:30 when the NYC open, it just plummeted down. So I couldn't have an entry on for sale. So you know that's when I turned everything off. I'm like, I'm done for the day. And today, like you said, you know, it's just 10 pips. But I want to see this guy Ty Dollar Sign.
I don't know who is that.
He makes YouTube videos, like they're really funny,
Oh, okay.
like really good content. Waiting for Rakeel to get back. Oh, he's back. He's back with the mangoes.
No, watermelon. We got watermelon.
Watermelon.
Yeah. If you missed that trade just then, would you still be looking for another entry, or would you call it a day with no other trades have been made? Yeah, I'd just call it a day. You know, if this was the trade I was waiting for and I missed it, then that's it.
No FOMO.
Yeah, no FOMO.
And it actually hit that area you have here. Well, it's probably gonna hit it and just reverse or consolidate around here, maybe. But you never know.
Ooh, GU is still running. Still going strong. Staying safe, staying strong. Man, this was amazing. Just amazing. As this was like live market commentary. Straight down. Ooh, GP cat is continuing moving down. I think it's going to come down over here. But then we got news coming in 20 minutes as well.
I was expecting GJ to flush, man, but it didn't. It's kind of like edging down.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think I like based on the higher time frames, the monthly and stuff, I do think the rest of the days on monthly we should continue moving bearish. So I think the first stop is going to be around 133, like 134. It's going to be the first stop. If we break below 134 400, then we're coming down to 134, and then from this we're just dropping further down. So if you see right now, price has really smashed below 134 540 that we had target over there.
Yeah. Like the daily told you from yesterday, that previous rejection candle, and then today being bearish, like I didn't want to take buys even when it's breaking those areas. Like there was no clean confirmation for buys.
Yeah, exactly. Unless it didn't break that, there was no confirmation. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, we're still stuck in a weekly range.
Do you ever trade engulfing candle? Yeah, so these are the engulfing candles. If you're in this trade, I know some people are in these trades, their candles are running, so they're running in an engulfing candle. So now we're coming down into this new range, and now we might continue down over here, 134 420. So you're constantly mapping out your targets. Now we're breaking below 134 540, so the next one is 134 420. So now you need the candle to close below this area to have some sort of confidence that, okay, now we're going to continue moving down. Raja, it has been a pleasure. Thank you. See you guys Monday. See you Sunday. Sunday, mate. Try CPU loading. Just pay attention for now. Oh. Yeah, I think it's been a pretty good move here on GU, GP CAD. EJ also dropped, GJ also dropped. Been awesome move here. See, when I see these moves, it just tells me, you know what, like I'm gonna catch them again if they're gonna happen over and over and over again. So then you don't get any FOMO, you don't get any nothing. 4-hour GJ candle might turn bearish. Let's take a look here. See, for the 4-hour to turn bearish, it needs to drop more in this range. So it's gonna drop. So if it drops a little bit more here, then it's going to turn bearish for sure. Oh, hello, welcome.
Yo, what's the deal, bro?
Hey, how's it going?
Shit, let me move this out the way. Shit. Pretty cool, man. How you doing?
Good, man. These people in the gulag, they've been tripping out. They've been, where's this guest? Where's this guest at?
It's all good, man. I'm literally just now waking up probably like 10 minutes ago. Usually I'm up at 3, but bro, my sleep schedule been messed up since that 10-hour joint, bro. So
oh yeah,
getting back adjusted.
10 hours, that's exhausting.
No cap though. You feel me? What you guys looking at? What is this? GJ? Okay.
Yeah, this is GJ.
You already took the short, or you just kind of waited out, get back in, or how you running it?
Oh no, I wasn't in this trade. We kind of like saw it rejecting 830 and then dropping back down into the zone, and we kind of like talked about it dropping back down to 540. Some people took the trade, some just watched it from the sidelines. So on Friday, I just chill,
Shit, hey, I understand, man. I feel like that's dope that you kind of have a day that you do chill, because I feel like a lot of people literally give back all their weekly gains on a Friday. You know what I mean? Or like late Thursday, early Friday.
Yeah. And like at times on Friday, some moves happen in a way you're like, man, I didn't really expect this to happen. So you got to stay safe from that too.
I got a question. Hey, do you trade NFP, bro?
NFP, yeah.
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 Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you, look, the first time, no cap, the first time I seen your stream, bro, like the thing is, y'all know I be rocking with the real. You know what I mean? So the first time I seen your stream, I'm like, hold on, bro. Bro's live and actually getting cracking because you know how it is with the whole Forex game and with this microphone, I guess. You know how it is with the whole the Forex game and stuff, and how how people be capping. And then just me seeing you actually get off it, I think I was watching one of your streams and you guys are going crazy. Like GJ had took off or GU had took off. You're like, oh my God, you motherfucker, let's go. I was like, oh yeah, let's go. That was that vibe right there, bro. And I feel like that's a really, you know what I'm saying? I was like, okay, man, I could rock with Roger and Woods Don't Lie. You know, so that was the first videos I watched. It was like 3-4 months back. So
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, like those situations is just amazing. Everyone's in the trade and it's moving. Everyone's like, let's go, GJ, let's go. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's the vibe, bro. It reminded me of like being on like a Wall Street floor. Now I've never been on Wall Street, can't say I have, but it definitely reminded me of like just kind of picturing like a Wall Street floor, how everybody would be rallying behind a certain product or price or something. So I thought that was dope. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a pit.
Yeah. Hey, I did have a question though. How long have you been trading for, bro?
I started in June 2016. Yeah. Started in June 2016. Found it through Instagram, and then saw this guy making a lot of money, and so I was like, hey, so it was like Ted, so I like joined him, and from that
so
point,
you learned from Uncle Ted.
Yeah.
Nice.
So then we started going on. Yeah, Ted's also here over there.
What's going on, man?
What's up? How you doing? All right?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good. What's the deal? Hey, you know what's crazy? Hey, I've heard a lot about Uncle Ted too. Now, this is my first time talking to Roger. So if everybody's like, oh, this is my first time talking and meeting to Roger other than Instagram. And then the same with Uncle Ted. I've heard literally great things about both of you, man. So I feel like it's dope just to be, you know what I'm saying? Shit, able to vibe out with you guys,
Yeah, I think I think it's important, and you're a very good example of how the FX community should be working. Is you come into sort of an unknown area, so to speak, in terms of like you're not here ever, and this is your first time here, but you're just trying to show love and leadership and really accept what's out there. And that's important because you're coming here and you're showing people that, hey, you got your own thing going and you're very successful at what you do, and now you're able to come just hang out with other people in another community, and that's no ego, and that's important. So I mean, I really appreciate that. And then I think a lot of people have to learn from that you could be very successful and you could have hundreds of students and doing your thing, but it doesn't affect the fact that you can come on in a totally different community above the same subject and just hang out and just be able to be real with other people as well. I think that's important. I think you as a community leader and others like that as well have to realize that there's no competition. It's we should be able to talk amongst each other and really work together. So no, I appreciate that.
Okay. Hey, Uncle Ted with the vibes, what's going on? Hey, man's got the Steve Harvey vibes going. That's what I'm with, bro. That positivity, man. Yes, sir. And it's gonna be dope because, like, I'm gonna click this part of the stream and stuff. So I should have recorded, but I'll go back and get the HD and all that. But I feel like the dopest part about the whole thing, bro, is like Uncle Ted is a very well-known name. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna be like, hold on, bro. Like, wait, Ty, Roger, Uncle Ted, bro, Matt, you guys are really like. I feel like that's gonna be huge just for the Forex community because like a lot of people, like I was reading some of the comments, they were like, oh no, don't get Ty, he's toxic. Let me tell you, like, look, the thing is, like, it's not even that I'm toxic, but it's just like, shit, bro. I watch a lot of Wild 'N Out, and I kind of grew up in like a roasting type environment. So for us, like roasting or joshing on people and stuff like that, like that was the thing. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe some people may see it as like, oh, it's aggressive, but shit, like. Bro, we grew up like, what type of shoes are those? Like, you know what I'm saying? And people going in on shoes, your shoelaces, like your hairline. So it's like for us, it's always like light humor. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really take a lot of this stuff serious because it's like we're roasting at the end of the day. You know what I mean? And shit, I'm so used to people out roasting and they're roasting back. It's like, okay, you know what I mean? So I don't want
Yeah,
anybody to feel like, oh, he's aggressive. You know what I mean? But yeah, go
I
ahead,
think
bro.
I think that's a good approach, and I mean, we've always said the same thing too. Like, I mean, my only comment has always been is, you know, the only thing you don't cross is family. Like, you don't just go into the family or like
Yeah.
innocent people, but like, you know, pretty much if you're on social media, you're fair game. I mean, people like to lash out at others and things like that, but I mean, for the most part, nobody takes it seriously. It just seems like, you know, Raj just said it earlier. Some people get bored or upset with life, and you know, they got to talk about stuff. But for the most part, I mean, you know, the end goal, I mean, for myself specifically, and I mean, this is an example of what I wanted to do, is a lot of the influencers or people that are making change in the community should all be together. They should all be able to come together. We should be at a virtual roundtable a lot of times, just discussing how can we make things better. You know, and it's not a bad thing to you're not sharing company secrets, like you're not sharing your secret sauce. But hey, if you notice something that's going on, or you're saying, hey, you know, I find a lot of people are having issues with this part of FX, or you know, I noticed that the regulatory body's doing this or something like that. It's good just to share that knowledge, because I mean, it's going to help you help your people, and that just builds the community as a whole. I've always said that. I mean, you know, you come to me, you ask me for advice, I'm always going to give you the straight truth, because there's no benefit for me from hiding it. It doesn't make a difference. It's how you apply it and what you're going to do. So a lot of people, you know, you're a perfect example of not having ego. You can come on here and talk, and you're going to, you know, share information or whatever you're going to do, and there's no criticisms. There's no one's going to get upset, because this is how you're learning. This is how people learn, because now there's 1,900 people, 2,000 people on the stream looking at, hey, I've never met this guy before. I don't really know this guy, but I like he resonates with me. He's got the energy that I'm looking for. You know, I'm looking at his Instagram page. There's a lot of things there that I appreciate, and I'm going to reach out to him. And that's the whole point, is to give people choice and to show people that there are different, I guess, quote unquote characters in the FX community. I mean, you got Raj as a character, I'm a character, you're a character. Like, people resonate with different people, and it's very important. It's not one person's better than the other.
I understand, bro. Like I said, I'm with this whole thing because I feel like like I said, I love what you guys do live, bro. I really love what you guys do live. And the reason I love what you do live is for this simple fact. Like, you can't really fake live because it's live. You know what I mean? So it's like, you take your wins with everybody, you take your losses, bro. It's like, I like that you come on the you come on the field with your breastplate, and even if it gets dents inside of the breastplates because you went to war, at the end of the day, we all seen you go to war. So we can't be like, oh man, that's not what it is. It's like, nah, bro, we watched them get the dents in the breastplate. You know what I mean? So, bro, I like this environment, man. And really, truly, like, to be honest, I would be down to do this like a few times a month. You know what I'm saying? Or even if we figure out some type of collaboratory effort where it's like we could do some shit like this. I think this is dope, bro. Like I said, I love what I know you guys go live every day, but just like as a guest and come on and maybe see where each other are at and stuff like that. And like you were saying, have a community roundtable. So maybe possibly we talk about current changes inside of the foreign exchange industry, and or what we feel like could be better, or where we all feel like we can improve. Like me, I feel like sometimes I can improve with my exits, you know what I mean? And like, the thing is, like, because I try to swing trade everything, I'll find an entry like early in the weekend and literally try to swing trade everything. But sometimes I might have to cut my trades. Like yesterday, I had to cut some of my bulls. What was it yesterday? A little bit. I think it was like early Wednesday or something like that, where I had to cut some of my bulls and then change direction. You know what I mean? But it's just like fuck, I got to change direction. And usually I'm trying to swing the whole joint out. Like, I want to try to hold it for like 2 weeks or hold it for a little bit longer than that, you know? So I feel like that's something I got to work on, you know what I mean? Just like noticing when to get out and when I have to get back in. Because sometimes I'll be all the way up and then look back just because I held it the whole week. And I'm like, what the fuck? I gave all my gains back. I should have put a trailing stop. I got a song that says when a profit trailing stop it, and I'm not even following my own rules. So, you know.
Hey man, so how long you been trading, man?
Shit, so look, I've been looking at the financial game for like over 10 years. Now, have I been physically trading for over 10 years? No. I really start trading and really getting cracking in like 2015. Early 2015, coming off of 2014 into 2015. And that's when I really started getting cracking. But a lot of people don't understand my background, but my background is literally in like data and research and stuff like that. I've always kind of been good with computers, but I feel like this is just algorithmic. It's simple pattern recognition, and it's like the market kind of doing the same thing over and over. So I guess like for me, adjusting to Forex, it really came in from having a desire to not be like Jay-Z. And you like, wait, what? But the thing was, I'm super inspired by Jay. But his whole story was like he had to sell cocaine, and that's how he got up. So I just wanted to have a story kind of similar, just without the cocaine. You know what I mean? And stocks / Forex is like the new type of coke. Well, stocks has always been like the new coke or the old coke, but you know what I mean? So that's kind of like what inspired me to really take control and be like, all right, I'm gonna get on this Forex shit and really see like, okay, it wasn't even see, it was like, it was trade or die. Like I got a big trade or die tattoo on my back, but that was my mindset, trade or die. And the whole mindset was either I do this shit or I just go get cracking and do all the wild shit that I was doing before previously. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see in the comments that they say you make Forex music, so you got a new wave going on?
Yeah, man, I got a little wave going on, man. They rock with the vibe. Yeah, bro, I do. It was funny, no cap. I said I was gonna see if I could get Roger to do the little dance joint. I think that'd be dope. You feel me?
Do a little dance joint.
Let's go.
What do you mean dance joint?
But it's
It's
the
like,
mint code. The
all
mint
right,
code.
nah, not even a mint code. Not even a mint code. Look, so we got a new dance coming out, right? Well, I was supposed to drop it yesterday, but I did drop like the steps on my Twitter. So I feel like so let me tell you about culture, right? And you probably like, wait, what? But look, so culture. So with culture, I feel like every time a new wave or something comes, it comes with either new games, right? New people or influencers. That's why we had the TikTok culture. That was a culture, you know what I mean? So all the influencers and major people in that inside of TikTok, they kind of all work together and stuff like that. So the same thing with Forex, right? So I'm just like, yo, we need something culturally where we could be like, this is us. So this is how it goes, right? So in a sense, like I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'm gonna talk. I can't hear you. I can talk, right? This is how it goes. So in a sense, the first part of the dance is you gotta hit the whoa. So everybody knows what the whoa is. Like it's like whoa. It's like whoa. So it's like this, that's mix that, whip that. So I'll break it down, right? So this, that, splash, this part. So up, boom, hit the wall. So that's the first thing. Just like you could wall like this, but hands up and so that's the first part. So it's like this, that's so this, that. The second part is like this little whip. So it's just like you stirring the pot, right? So it's just like you stir the pot, but you want to stir the pot with some groove. You don't want to be like, you know what I'm saying? You want to stir the pot with some groove, kind of bounce, kind of jig with it. So boom, it's super simple. So boom, stir it. So the next part is dope, right? The next part, so this is called the looking ass. So if you ever seen Wild 'N Out and stuff, it's like
Looking ass.
Walk, looking ass. So that's what it looks like from the side. So when it's like this, so it's up, boom, whip, mix it, and then boom. You feel me? Then you kind of walk back, and then run up, and then you do it all over again. So that's like, so that's called like the Forex, right? So when you put it all together, then it's like a little beat, it's a dance, it's like a vibe. I feel like, I don't know, I thought it was fun. I thought it was lighthearted, and I felt like since we trade and we sit down, we needed to get up out our seats.
Yeah. No, we'll do it. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get everyone to make like a clips. I'll send them to you. Then you can make them in like a collab, like you know, like those montage, something like that. We got the lanky ass Ted doing the looking ass.
I don't think I have the facilities.
Look
at
that.
Hey, what if we have Uncle Ted dancing, bro? What?
I don't have the facilities. I'm sorry, I don't have the facilities for that.
Me neither.
This dude is lit. Good energy.
I did have a question. What's you guys' favorite pair, man? I'm not trying to take over your stream, but I'll announce mine and then I'll let you guys say yours. So me, I like that Dirty 30. The reason I like US 30, bro, I love that pair, but only because like with GJ, right? The reason I don't really love GJ like I love like US 30 is for this particular point. With US 30, once you enter a trade, it's kind of like you're either gonna know that you're right or wrong right away. And I love that I'm able to know if I'm right or wrong right away, other than like fucking with my currency. Then it's like, all right, bro, we gotta wait. It's gonna go into consolidation. It gotta go into that little gather phase. You know what I mean? So then it's like, shit, I gotta wait for the gather phase to complete in the breakout before I can move. But with this joint, shit, it's kind of true to like price action or true to the game, bro. Like if it's gonna be bearish, it's gonna be bearish. If it's gonna be bullish, it's gonna be bullish. And I feel like that's what I like about this. But what about you?
Yeah, so like on your study, are you mostly looking on like the 4 hours, the dailies, or the 1 hours, or just like the 515 or the 5-2?
Well, I go in to take entries on like the 15 and the 5, but like I'm really looking at it off the daily. I'm really looking at it off the 4 and stuff like that. So right now it's looking like what's that bitch trying to pull back for sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, mostly I trade GJ. Some people here also mostly trade APJPY. For the most part, I trade GJ because, like, you know, the yen is close, so the pair is only influenced by just one currency. And from what I believe is that if you can get like during volume time, right? Like let's say when you have the New York and London overlap, I believe you only need like one 30-minute candle or one 1 hour candle to make that one trade. That's it. For a high volatile pair like GJ, let's say if you're looking at the 1 hour or the 30-minute, every candle, like average candle size is going to be probably like 30 pips, 25 pips. So I think like if you can do that consistently, you can have like a very positive outcome like in the long run.
So you're more so like you like scalping. So you go for
Scalping.
like 20, 30 pip scalps.
Yeah, 10 pips, 15 pips, and that's it. Basically, that's it.
Hey, really, that's a smart mover though, Brian. Go cap. You know what I'm saying? Really, that's a smart move because after the 2030, to be honest, you always see that little pullback. Marky be like, you know what? Hold on, I'll be right back.
Yeah, there's always a pullback, always. And like from what I saw was like, okay, like if I'm taking like, let's say, so I tried to swing trade, right? I tried to swing trade, and what I saw was that 80% of the time, or 70 to 80% of the time, my position was always going into profits for like 15 pips, 20 pips. After that, there's always like at break even or drawdown all the time. You know, so I was like, okay, well, it's going my way later on. Like it does, you know, but like, how can I reduce this anxiety of being in a drawdown? Right now, I was in profit, now I'm in drawdown. I'm like, oh fuck, man, now we gotta wait. So what I would do is I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can secure positions at 15 to 20 pips all the time, you know, and then let maybe a runner running at like break even or whatever, you know, and that runner would get stopped out most of the time, you know, because like pull back and then go up. So I said, and when I looked at the consistency of that, I'm like, okay, you know what? If I can do this for like 6-7 months, fuck, man, I can make like I can set up like a really nice life with this. So
that's very true.
Yeah, bro. And then once these things start to play along, we're like, okay, you know what? Let's just start. You know, like I looked at TED once. I'm like, hey, we should do these webinars live for everybody. So they basically started to just show off. You know, that was the whole reason for the live stream, just to like come on and show off. You know, and then we and then slowly the community started to build. You know, like people coming on, they told their friends about it, and everyone we're like, oh,
bro,
shit.
You guys have not to cut you off, but you guys have one of the most solid names in the community, bro. Just for the simple fact that you are live every day. Like you can't argue with does Roger trade, does Wix don't lie trade, does Uncle Ted trade, like, but it's live though. And that's the thing, you know what I mean? So I like that.
Yeah, like calling moves and stuff like that. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I
got a question for you, bro. So like what was your turning point? Because I know everybody has like the point that, so basically you come in Forex, you struggle a little bit or a lot, and then you know, you come out of the mud and you do your thing. So what was that turning point for you where you felt like, okay, I got this figured out, I'm about to go full time and just get it cracking with this market, and this is what I want to do. Like, I'm asking you, Roger, and then Matt, I want you to respond, and then Uncle Ted, I want you to respond too, just because I would really love to hear all your responses.
No. We want to first know your turning point. This is my stream. What do you mean, man? You're questioning us over here.
I'm about to roll up too,
bro.
All right, so okay, I got you. So my turning point was this, bro. It kind of happened. It really happened in like the first 6 months for me, right? Like I kind of got in and I understood the secrets. Like I said, like everything has a pattern. Even with like YouTube, even with like Facebook, like everything has a pattern in the algorithm. And for me, like I'm always looking for the algorithm, or in a sense, the easiest way out. I'm the laziest person in the room, but like I'm gonna get the shit done at the most effective way, right? So that's always my mindset and my approach. So for me, it was like literally 6 months kind of after I got started, and I figured out like, okay, I understand what's going on. I could be consistent. But man, I felt like after like the second or third year, that's when shit really flew for me. It was just because I really had to figure out how to control my greed. Okay, so my turning point was figuring out how to control my greed and my ego. Like already, so like a lot of people say, oh, you were popping before YouTube or whatever, before all of that stuff. And kind of, in a sense, I kind of was, you know what I mean? Like we were already doing all the club things. I got a lot of little celebrity friends and stuff like that. So it's like I was kind of already doing my thing. So like I had an ego, well, I still kind of got an ego, but I had an ego that I had to like face. I had to face me in the mirror and be like, bro, if you want to really move and be like solid with this, you got to stop being you in the market. Meaning I got to kill who I am as a person and become somebody totally new. So my turning point was that, bro. Just becoming a new me, and just like I said, understanding that I, in a sense, can't control the marketplace and I got to go with the flow. And I was so used to making decisions for myself and other people that it's like I wasn't used to going with the flow. So now I'm just like, okay, when it moves, it moves. If it doesn't move, then I don't move. Like if I don't see a move, then how can I move? You know what I mean? Just like a sniper. Like if you don't see a shot, how can you take the shot? Like
yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? Like you'll give away your position. So you kind of just got to sit there and just wait and just wait. You know? Go ahead.
Yeah, it's pretty good. You mentioned that that you had to change who you were as a person when it came to trading. Like you can't be what you are in real life. You can't be the same person in the markets, right? Like it's like when we have someone who's very competitive, right? You know, let's say someone who runs a company and they're really successful, right? That same personality, it may not work in when you're trying to trade. You know, at the same time, I was talking to this one guy and he's like, man, like I have a PhD, I have like this and that, I've done like double masters, but the trading, I can't figure it out. You know, I try to like solve it, I try to really understand the perfect entries, the perfect exits, I can't figure it out. And I said, well, listen, like you've spent your whole life on one subject, right? You spent your whole life in perfecting that subject, and you have perfected that subject. You're the best in what you do right now. That same personality in trading is not going to work. Like there's no such, like guys ask me this all the time too, hey, what's the perfect entry? And I said there's no perfect entry. You know, there's no perfect exit. Right? Like if you exit at a point where you think price is going to reverse, price may continue moving 1,000 pips after that. You know? Yeah. Are you going to turn back and say, oh man, I should have held, I shouldn't have closed? But at the same time, man, that shit can reverse 1,000 pips too. Right? So then you're going to, right? So I mean, yeah, you're right. Like we have to really change ourselves the way we are and then come into markets. Like it's what Ted says, like you have to put ego at the door when you come to the markets.
Facts, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna get beaten up all day by the markets if that's and like at the end of the day, it's not even like you're gonna get beaten up by the markets. Like you're gonna be beating yourself up because you can't control certain things like over trading, over risking, greed. I mean, that's just the number one main thing.
Not to cut you off, I feel like early on I had that problem so bad, bro. Like the over trading thing, like oh my gosh, my FOMO was so bad, bro. Like I would be so crazy up in profit and would literally just give my shit back like in Tokyo Session. You know what I'm saying? Just being so addicted to the game, bro.
Yo, let me tell you this. How many times did you run up accounts and then blow them without withdrawing money? How many times?
Hey, I guess that was my broker's favorite thing.
Oh, we like this guy.
Said man's got a gambler mentality, bro. I feel like that's so hard to get past too. That gambler's mentality, like, but bro, like, because even in the casino, you kind of go in, you already know, like, oh man, I'm only gonna bring in 500. Like, okay, yeah, until you start winning. You know what I'm saying? Then you like, holy shit, I can do this all day. All I gotta do is just win 2 more. Like your mind starts calculating, and the thing is, you've already bought the yacht already. You know what I'm saying? In your mind, so it's like
it's already there. The car is already there.
You feel me?
The car is already there, and just before you know it, someone comes in your mind and repos it away. It's like gone.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. So like your YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
How'd you start? Like, did you start on Instagram first and YouTube? Like, what's that? I think I saw like one of the videos of your YouTube. Like, it was like a light roasting session, and I found it really hilarious. I was like, man, this guy's not serious at the same time. He's smoking this blunt at the same time. He's trading,
Yeah.
and it's just as hilarious the way it was explanations. Like, how did that YouTube motivation came on?
So for me, bro, like I kind of always wanted to do YouTube, but like for so long I've lived a private life. You know what I mean? Like I said, I do have like a lot of little celebrity friends or whatever. So it's like, shit, I come around and I don't pull out my phone camera. I come around, we smoke, we drink, like we party. It's like, I just respect people's privacy and stuff. But I looked at YouTube and was like, the thing was, I was at YouTube before I was on YouTube. So if you go look at like some of my old stuff, you'll see me at YouTube space in Los Angeles. And, you know, I was just basically coming to different sets and stuff like that. I was working with a channel called Strength Project.
Oh,
And
nice.
and multiple other channels and stuff like that. So that was kind of like my way into the game. You know, bro really looked out for me and held the door open. You know what I mean? So shout out to Arash, even though he probably like, yeah, he gave me a shout out, but bro, I'm humble. You feel me? And that's just what it is. Like I'm humble and I really fuck with the people who put me on. So like that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So bro kind of held the door open for me at YouTube and let me come in and build my brand. You know what I mean? So I've got to work with numerous different types of companies. Numerous people. And it was the fact that I was there, but every time I was there, it wasn't my name. Like it's like you got to sign in using your channel name. It wasn't my channel name. And I didn't ever feel some type of way, but I always just knew. I was like, damn, like one day, you feel me, if I keep grinding, like my name could be right here on one of these studio doors too.
Yeah.
You know, like you come into the stage and then it says like, it was like boom, Strength Project. And that to me, that was like, man, like if I could just get TY right there, let's go. But I really just asked like, hey man, how do you go to channel? Like what are you supposed to do? And it was just, he was always telling me it's your community. And I never really knew, you know, what he meant about the community until I was able to build a community. And like, to be honest, I don't know how my channel built, bro. Like my goal wasn't to go get a bunch of subs. To be honest, it was just like, I seen people doing this Forex shit and like I was doing this Forex shit. So I'm like, bro, if these fucking guys are running up these damn numbers and shit on YouTube, I'm like, bro, if I just get on here and show people like, man, we don't even need to do all that. Like Forex isn't even all the drama and stuff that people put behind it. It's literally just what you see right here. Simple math. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it's true. And like you're right. It takes consistent action, like doing the same thing every day, not worrying about followers or subscribers. Like if you just do what you really like to do, I think there are people who think on the same wavelengths as you, and they're the ones who will follow you. You know,
I
or
understand.
like they're the ones who are gonna support you because man, like okay, listen, there are like 7 billion people in the world. You know,
Yeah.
if you start counting to 1 billion, it's gonna take you 33 years. You know, and I mean there are
Understand.
a lot of people, so people don't like you know, like sometimes, you know, I have guys that say, hey man, like, you know, I started this page like, you know, 2 months ago, it's not growing, what should I do? I'm like, man, just keep posting. Just keep posting, just do you. Eventually you'll start gathering people who thinks on the same wavelength as you, but it's just going to take time. And once it starts, it's just going to be an exponential curve going up.
Facts. Big facts.
All right, let's see if we have any questions here in the gulag. So we call the YouTube chat the gulag. Ever Call of Duty?
Oh God, bro. I don't play as often, but I do kind of browse through the game before I get to Fortnite.
Oh yeah, okay.
But nah, what's up? They got questions in there?
Yeah. What year did you become a profitable trader?
The
Or
same year I started trading.
Or like, how would you define a profitable trader? Let's put it that way.
Okay, well, I think it's a difference between profitable and consistent. Okay, so profitable is being able to get in and make money. Consistent is being able to get in and keep the money that you made. You know what I mean? So, profitable, I feel like it was easy to become profitable because, like I said, my background was kind of like shit, looking at stocks, but I wasn't spending money in the stock market. You know what I mean? So, but looking at it, seeing what was going on, just kind of opening up a chart. Like, I don't even know what the fuck I'm looking at, but I got a chart open and you don't. So now I'm putting in you type of deal. And that was kind of like my first whole angle, bro. You know what I mean? Just walking around like bro, I used to walk around in high school with a tablet, fucking looking at charts. But the thing is, I don't even know what I was looking at. But it was so dope. Where it was so dope to the fact that it was like, okay, one day I'll figure this out. You know what I mean? But so the profit, look, so profitable. So I feel like everybody can make money. And that's just like the world. You go to work, you make money, you do whatever you do, you make money. But the hardest thing in the world is keeping the money that you made. Because okay, you can make $2,000, right? But then like shit, a pair of shoes may cost like, I mean, it depends on what type of shoes, like from like 100 to like 1,200 plus. So let's say you were like, fuck it, I just made $2,000, but I'm gonna go buy the $1,200 pair of shoes. Okay, but the thing is, that was a horrible investment because you've already put up shit. Damn near 70% of your money, you know what I'm saying, on a pair of shoes that's not gonna bring you no type of bread back. So the thing is, was that I had that same mentality inside of the marketplace. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, I felt like if I had a great morning, I could keep having the same type of day over and over and over. And it was just like, nah, you can't really get it cracking like that. Because the longer you go, it's like if you scale down, okay, you might be able to go all day. But I will make money and then try to scale up. And then try to scale up, and then try to scale up. So by the time I got to the bigger lot, like shit, all it took was that one little move against me, and everything I worked for is gone. You know what I mean? So I was getting profitable, but I was horrible at being consistent. And then I was like, let me just focus on being consistent. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's really what took my game to the next level. Just like not really scaling up right after I made the crazy profit, but just like if you were to go to the gym, like, okay, yeah, you can lift, but you're not about to go too high too fast. You're just gonna stay at a level until you're able to put some pounds on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Like slow and steady. Like you start increasing slowly. Yeah. I think that's the main problem. Like also guys have that they just scale up too fast. Like if let's say they're doing like 0.5, from 0.5 they jump to like looks like like from 0.5 they'll jump to 1 real quick. Oh man, let me get on that 1 real quick. No man, where's 0.75? Like where's 0.8? Yeah.
You say you skipping steps.
Yeah, you're skipping steps. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, the way we started, I mean, the way I started heading consistent was, so the way we started trading in the start was basically we're looking at like, I was basically looking at 4 or 5 pairs, majority USD pairs, and all the 4-hour candles.
So you're from, not to cut you off, but you're from out here in the US?
No, Canada, Toronto.
Shout out to Toronto. Okay.
Shout out to Toronto, where we make igloos in the summer and winter time we live in them. But so so we just look at the 4-hour candles, right? So we just see, okay, if a 4-hour candle closes at a support, 10 pip stop loss, take a buy. If it closes at a resistance, 10 pip stop loss, take a sell at like 1 p.m., 5 p.m., 9 p.m., and 1 a.m., 5 a.m., 9 a.m. We'll look at every 4-hour candle. If it would close, take a trade. For the most part, that was a very profitable strategy, because like on a higher time frame, if a candle closes at a zone, then on the lower time frame, like 1 minute or the 30 minute, the 1 hour and the 30 minute, there's a higher chance of it retracing. Or rejecting it, and it would reject it like for 10, 15 pips, it come to that, take profit, move to the next trade. Then the only time, I started losing was when, price would go against me, and when price would go against me in the start, I was like, okay, well, either it hit my stop loss and then I started learning more. I started more about trend lines and Fibonacci's, harmonics, because I thought the more I knew, the more I'm going to make. And then, so then when price was to come to my stop loss, I'm like, no, I'm going to remove this shit. No, I'm removing the stop loss from here.
I feel you.
That was the downfall, from there.
Yeah. So do you always trade with a stop, or are you kind of play it loosely?
No, now I use stops. Now I use stops to the point that so we have this one thing, right? So we do this one risk management thing, and it's like, let's say if we're in a sell, right? Let's say we're in a sell, and all right, let me just find like a good example here.
Okay.
So all right, so let's say that someone took a sell right after this candle closed, right?
Okay.
So what the thing is that I'm going to have my stop loss above the high of the previous candle, knowing that, okay, if price is going to go down, price is going to make lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, right? And in the same time, now what the candles are going to do, candles are also going to, form lower highs and lower lows if they will go in a solid downtrend, right? And if the previous candle, let's say the previous candle starts to break the high of the previous one, then the downtrend is invalid, right? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to place my stop up over here. So let's say if price comes back to the high of the previous candle, at that point I'm going to close, let's say 50% of the position.
I understand.
Right? Because let's say it's a smaller time frame, so I'm not sure whether the smaller time frame is really going to reverse, because maybe the 30 minutes just making a top wick or the 1 hour is making a top wick. But just to be safe, you have to take some sort of stress, anxiety out of the trade, right? Because oh yeah, bro. Because if you remember in the start, I mean, this used to happen to me too. I mean, as soon as price would hit my stop loss, or as soon as I would close the trade just because I got scared, price would always go my way. And I'm like,
that's funny. Yeah, that's very true.
Man, so instead of closing the whole position, why not close a portion of it? That way, not only you're reducing the risk, plus you're staying in the game. You're not out of the trade completely.
I understand, bro. That's dope.
Yeah, so I think to me, to really get to a consistent level, I really had to work on losing less, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, controlling those losses.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, man, we can't control the outcome. We can speculate the outcome. We can kind of guesstimate where price will go, but we can't really control it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah,
I guess until you get a little bit more influence, then they're gonna take your phone away from you, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
They said Roger about to tweet. Hold on, hell no, nah. If he was over here having a good morning, here you go talk about some the economy's doing good.
Yeah, and you start going in full retard mode on the market, man. You gotta stay away from me.
That's funny, man. But yeah, that's so dope. But I like that ideology with the stop loss and just being able to take those profits early and cut half the position down. I feel like just with that little bit right there, like you gave away a lot of gems, and a lot of people maybe here listening for gems and shit, But I really felt like that was a gem right there. That was a diamond, bro. Just kind of letting people know,
Yeah, thanks, man. Hey, we have another question. Where'd you get that hoodie?
I make these joints.
Oh, you make these hoodies?
Yeah.
Damn, man, you gotta hook us up with the link. Do you have a link over here?
How many is it? No, I don't have the link. Shit, so I'll tell you about these hoodies, right? And the whole story behind the whole brand, the trade gang and stuff like that. So when I built the brand, I built it with Supreme in mind. So there, in a sense, there's really no true foreign, there was no Forex streetwear, bro. I wanted to have something that represented the shit that I did, and I wanted it to look cool. The thing is, you'll notice you got a lot of trap type shirts, and what I mean is they have the characters with the lean cup and fucking blunts in the hand, a lot of trap type shit. You know what I mean? So I wanted the culture of Forex. That's why we got the dance and everything. I really wanted to be, I really wanted to try to help push the culture forward. So I designed this kind of at first I got the idea from Gucci. You feel me? So a lot of people they don't pay homage to the designers and shit like that, but bro, anytime if I do use a move like that, I pay homage for the simple fact I know the rules of the game. But at the end of the day, if you look at the shoe Bape has the same design as an Air Force One with a Bape logo on it. So the thing is, I kind of knew my rules and what I could do and how I can break them if I just did shit in a different way. You know what I mean? So initially, this is one of the designs that Gucci had used. They had Paris, France right there. But I'm like, you know what? Let me do that same shit, but let's vibe it out with Forex. And I felt like that's why people fucked with it. So so that was the story behind how I built up the brand or whatever. But the Supreme aspect. So I felt like what was dope about Supreme is, well, Kanye kind of does the same thing, but he'll do a drop, but it's always a limited time drop, and then the resale value is where everybody makes all the money at. So I was like, yo, I love that concept of not putting a lot out there and then letting the value, if people wanting the shit, go up. If people want it, then it's not 100 anymore. It's whatever you want to place on it. So I was always thinking, well, in a sense, stock X. So anytime you do come shopping with Trade Gang or something, you're not just buying a shirt, you're not just buying a hoodie. You're like buying that shit and trying to get it, and then you're trying to hold it because you know we're gonna discontinue the item, and then shit, if I guess if I keep blowing up or whatever, and I mean the community keeps growing, then the value of whatever item or product that is you have, that shit goes up. You know what I mean? So it's like I'm always gonna do a limited time drop. I don't mind shooting you guys. I don't mind shooting you like a hoodie. You just gotta let me know the size and stuff. And then yeah, bro, I'll definitely make that happen for you. But like I said, like what's dope is like, yeah, either A, you could wear it, or B, you could just let it stay in this packaging and just hold it, bro. Feel me? Wait a few months, wait a year or some shit, and then like go check StockX. Like that same hoodie, you might be able to find it for $1,000, $1,500. Like I'm gonna keep working my ass off on my side, you know, to keep bringing value. So you know.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That's awesome.
That's actually a really, really interesting thing. You know what? I've watched like the Jordan Dior's and stuff like that have come out. Like I you just try and keep up with sort of current events.
Yeah.
But I've never heard it explained that way. That's actually you're basically creating your own marketplace and your own economy.
Yeah.
So it's really intriguing because me being in FX and being in the markets and things like that, you're always looking to say, okay, how can I be the owner of something, right? Like that's your end goal. Like with FX, your end goal is you first you learn, then you trade, then you're like, okay, how do I scale this out? How do I build a business from that? And then with clothing, it's sort of the same thing because when you look at it, you can keep selling, but then it gets stale because there's thousands of those or whatever it is. There's a large quantity out there. So hearing somebody explain it that way, it's really intriguing because if you're able to, I guess, promote that idea and like you said, and the thing that resonated with me the most is you said, I'm continuing to build my value, so that will push the value of sort of my clothing, and that I think that's really important. That brings a different dynamic to things because essentially, if you keep your quantities low, obviously with supply and demand, but it holds you accountable. Yeah. Because people are wearing this clothing or whatever they're doing with it, but then you're creating that value, which is intrinsically creating a demand for that clothing line. That's actually interesting, Roger. You should be doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna steal that idea real quick now.
Yeah, no, it's actually a really good idea. You make limited edition
everything
things, and then what you would basically do, I mean, you could basically create your own marketplace, a customized marketplace where you'd be like, hey, these are limited edition 1s or 2s, and I mean, when you have a strong enough following, it'd be interesting to see if somebody could create a clothing marketplace like that, like for different genres, and create an auction house. I mean, I know they have different websites, but to have one community site, I wonder if that's available.
That's tight.
Yeah, because I mean, you know what, like you said, you have all this limited edition clothing, and people would be putting that up there. You'd have value to add, and people wanted it bad enough, they would just bid it up.
Hell yeah! Oh, bro, checking out the StockX. Hell yeah!
Yeah, I gotta check it out now.
I'm telling you, bro, StockX is crazy, bro. Like, it's crazy, man. You'll notice, like, all the Supreme drops, like, bro, whatever.
Yo, this is.
But do you see it though? And look at the buy and the sell, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh wow.
So in a sense, it's like the clothing stock market. It has a ticker there, bro. Like if you looked at the top, it said ticker, and it had the item and brand of whatever that ticker was, so you can follow the shit alone, bro. So it's crazy how they set it up, but
Yeah, wow, it's crazy. Oh yeah, right here.
You see the ticker right there.
Yeah. So it's like a garment stocks.
Yeah.
Oh wow, highest. So this is the spread. The spread is like around like $18.
That's the spread.
The spread is $18.
Yo, imagine a binary options broker spawned on the back of this shit right here. People are betting on if the supreme value is gonna go up or down on the t-shirt. Man, the future's looking crazy, bro.
Man, but look at this. The retail was $38, and now it's like $188.
Yeah, that's how quick it goes up, bro. Like, and then it has the number of sales. Like, this shit is crazy, bro. You know?
Wow, $1,000 for this T-shirt. The one $966. Yo, man, what is this? Retail was $400. It's the black shirt with Supreme on.
Hey, man, they figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Shit. They figured it out, bro. Like, to me, like I said, bro, this brand is interesting. Just how they built themselves,
Yeah.
man. But, you know.
Wow, the highest price was $2,000. Wow, go figure.
See, and it's funny because people get mad at that, right? People get
Yeah.
mad at the value of those shirts, but I can never get mad at these kind of ideas because obviously there's a marketplace for it. There, you know, I always go back to, and my famous quote is from the Simpsons episode. It was a Halloween episode where they had all these big brands and they came alive. So there was, you know, like the donut guy and all these different, like all the mascots of the different brands came alive.
Yeah.
And Lisa Simpson says, you know, if you want to kill the mascots, you just don't look, right? And this is where I get into arguments with people where it's like they get, well, how come this person's making this? How come they can charge this? How come they can do this? It's like because the marketplace has dictated that, right? If you turn around and you say, okay, my streetwear that I've built or my Forex wear, I'm gonna charge $200 a hoodie. And you sell out of those hoodies, the marketplace has dictated that was the right price. People get so offended by that, and I don't understand how you can get offended. If you don't like a $200 hoodie, and excuse me, that's not the price you're willing to pay, leave it on the shelf.
Buy.
Yeah, just don't buy it. Then the value will go down because they'll be forced to drop the price.
Yeah.
But people flock to these things and they don't use common sense, and then they complain about it afterwards. Like I'm all for a free market. If it's a free market, like we're in FX, we're in the markets. The market dictates the price. You decide how much you want to pay. If that's too expensive for you, you don't pay it. But if people are willing to pay it, how can you argue with somebody? If I've got a pair of used sneakers and someone loves Uncle Ted and they want to spend $600 on my sneakers, take them for $600.
Do you feel me?
Yeah, like what am I supposed to do? Like that's not my fault. Like you've
and then the bigger
value.
you get, not to cut you off, but the bigger you get, shit, it was 600, but then once again, you are Uncle Ted. So like, then it comes down to, well, did you wear those sneakers?
Yeah.
How long did you wear them? You know what I'm saying? Like, is the center of your foot still it? Like, bro, people are weird. Like, they'll assign value all the way to the smallest detail. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and that's why, like, I when I have discussions with people, like people message me and things like that, you know, they get so angry with people selling different things, and they're like, "Whoa, this is a ripoff. This doesn't make sense." And it's like, but the market decided that. You decided. Someone placed a value on something. They're selling something for $1, and the market decided that they want to pay $1. It's not up to us as, you know, as business people or, you know, people selling clothing to assign that value. It's the marketplace that assigns that value. And it's such a skewed philosophy a lot of people hold, where it's like, yeah, man, you got a shirt on that you wore on Wickstone live stream, you're going to raffle that off. You get $10,000 for that hoodie. Yeah, it's just a hoodie. But to somebody else, there was an intrinsic value to that. And you know what? Go get mad at that guy for bidding the price up to $10,000. Like, you can't get mad at yourself.
Run that joint up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But no, I agree with you, man. I agree with you 100%. I feel like we are in a capitalistic society, and I do encourage entrepreneurship. You know what I mean?
But that's what I've always said to people, because people have always gotten mad where they say, well, there's too many FX mentors, there's too much course selling, there's too much this. It's like, you've created that demand. Like, people have created that. Like, don't buy anything then there's no more FX demand, right? Like, I mean, it's so counterintuitive. People get angry at other people. It's like, I can't get angry at other people. I get angry at the marketplace that's dictated that that's what they want, right? If this stream is horrible, like people say it is, why are there 2,000 people here? They've dictated the value of the stream.
I'm telling you, bro, people just be talking shit just because. I think people have assholes, bro, and opinions are like assholes. Like, everybody has one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really feel like the thing is, like, some people are just uncertain with themselves. So just because they can't enjoy their own comfort, you know what I mean? Like, okay, you're enjoying yourself and living life. I gotta go mess that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what it is, bro, but it's like, in a sense, some people find joy in others' misery. You know what I mean? Like, beats me. You feel me? I've always been one of the positive people.
I never understood that either. Like, I just, in growing up, like, if I saw someone doing better than me, I didn't really get upset. I just sort of just was like, wow, congratulations. Like, they must be doing something I'm not. Like, I've always done that. Like, it was foreign to me. I think when I came to social media, it was very foreign to see people get mad at other people. Where, you know, like when I like, I always look at when I was playing basketball and I was in grade 11, I couldn't dunk a basketball. I was 6'4", and all my team would get mad at me. They'd be like, man, how come you can't dunk? You're so tall. You're playing power forward. You should be able to dunk. And it was just like, I never turned around and lashed out at them. I'm just like, yeah, that's true. Like, why can't I dunk? Like, what's wrong with me? And then my coach basically put me on a program for plyometrics and strength building. And within 2 months, I was able to dunk a basketball because I was just pure focused on that. But it's just, you know, like, I never understood, like, if, you know, like, you own a Rolls Royce, you own these cars. It's like, I can't get mad at you for owning those vehicles because it doesn't impact my life. Like, you know, like, if I honestly, if I wanted a Rolls Royce, I would turn around and be like, hey, so how did you, like, where did you go? How's the financing?
Look, and not to cut you off, but I'm gonna tell you the truth about that too. I felt like it was the dumbest decision ever, bro. And let me tell you why. Just because, like, you're supposed to buy the house and shit that brings you money before you buy a depreciated asset. Like, I just had to do a repair on that junk already. You know what I mean? It's a little bit older, but it's like it was just the whole fact that it was like, in a sense, it's kind of like dead money, bro. You know what I mean? And, like, I don't know, it's just being young and dumb. Like, if I would have knew what I do now, shit, back then before I purchased, bro, I wouldn't even purchase that shit. And the reason being is because, like, I can go get some fucking income properties, bro, and shit with the same price. You know what I'm saying? I probably buy like 5 different homes.
You get the car, yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's an important thing too. I mean, we stress that a lot. Like, people always ask me, they're like, you know, like, how come you don't have a fleet of cars? And I mean, I always say, well, I can only drive one at a time, but I bought the cars that I wanted. Like, I really enjoy the cars that I have. And, you know, when I go buy another car, you know, I'm very meticulous in what I want. But to your point, I think as much as you learn from that experience, you can't fault people for doing that. Like, at the time when you made the purchase, it was a symbol
the best thing ever.
Yeah, it was a symbol of your success. It was a symbol of the fact that that's what you defined yourself as, you making it. And this is where I balance my argument, similar to what you said, with people that are younger. You know, because everyone wants a supercar, everybody wants that. And I always tell people, I'm like, think long and deep about why you want that car. Like, did you want that because you know, if you drive down the street, people are going to come up to you and ask you, like, how did you get there? Like,
at first that was my whole joint. Like, it was purely fucking off ego and status. You know what I mean? That's why I said it was like the dumbest decision ever. So I feel like for me, that was my first thing. I wanted the looks. I wanted, oh man, he got up. But bro, there's millionaires, multi-millionaires, right? Like, you go to Beverly Hills, no cap. You fucking go look in the driveway, you'll see like one Bentley, it's probably like a Continental GT. Oh, Bentley. Guess what the other car is? A fucking Ford or a Prius, bro. But you're like, this mansion is crazy. Why would you not go get but it's because they got the $30 million house, you know what I'm saying, sitting on top of the hill. So it's like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and I think everybody that makes it always has that one defining moment where it's like they want to make a purchase, or they want to do something that, you know, solidifies that. And then as you continue to grow, and obviously you're in that second or third phase of growth, you realize you're like, hey, the people that have rolled with me from day one, or the people that recognize me, they don't recognize me for what I drive or what I own. They recognize me for who I am as a person. And, you know, now you're like, I've always told people, like, you want to sort of secure a property because, man, I remember when I got my first property, it was, you know, like, for me, it's like, if shit hits the fan tomorrow, at least I got a place to live. Because the worst feeling in the world would be you lose all your money trading, and you got this like $300,000 car on the driveway, and now you gotta like try and figure out a place to live.
Shit, or the expensive condo, bro.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, like and that's what I've always looked at, and I think it hate like people don't like that because they want to have something that they can show off right away. But
Yeah,
man, you take 300,000-400,000 and you buy a few properties within a year and a half, you're gonna have those properties paying for your Lambo or your Rolls Royce, and
yeah,
you know what? Now you've got something on top of that. It's just financial education and financial literacy that a lot of people just have to learn from.
yeah,
And like I said, don't like I always tell people, like, don't get me wrong, go enjoy yourself. Like, they're like I'm older than most people, so I don't have the same interests or same taste. So like I don't understand the allure of running down the street in a Lambo, like even down in in Toronto, like there's the rich area in Toronto, like downtown, people drive like supercars like nonstop.
yeah.
And I always walk by, like I was down there the other week, and I always walk by and I'm like, yeah, like, I mean, so this is what you're doing, driving up and down the street. Like they do like 3 or 4 laps, and I'm just like, like I'm going to eat dinner. Like I'd rather go eat somewhere than drive my car for 4 laps around the block. But
Yeah.
it's one of those things. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I saw a really nice Wraith that was all like it had a matte black wrap on and everything like that. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy nice cars,
But shit,
then,
even with those, bro, not even to
Yeah.
cut you, because you brought up the luxury cars and you brought up driving around the block. So the funny thing is, right, before I moved, like the building I used to stay in, so I still people like the cars and stuff that are around. So what they didn't know though is that those cars would never move, bro. So
Yeah.
even though you think people are, oh yeah, you got the Lambo, yeah, but that motherfucker is parked, bro. Like, and it been parked for the past 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So like, and that was me. Like I had to, like I said, like since I was, cause man, like, so I'm trying to explain it. I guess it was like my environment that I was around. Like everybody had something. Like it was kind of like status symbol. Like one person would go get a fucking Lambo. The next thing you know, you'll see somebody pop up with the new plates on the Bentley. The next thing you know, so people are like indirectly competing with each other underground. So you would go underground, and if your shit wasn't up to par, you'd be like, you know what? Let me not even go underground because I gotta get right first, But I felt like, first off, that was stupid. Second off, like I said, like a lot of those cars were just parked on the ground. So when you see out and people are like, oh man, this guy got the Lambo, you don't know that, yeah, bro's driving that Lambo today. But the thing is, A, it's probably leased as fuck. B, mans can't put more than 2,500 miles on it per year. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's just a lot of other things that people don't even know what's going on behind the scenes. And I feel like that's what opened up my eyes literally to dead money. Cause I looked at these cars that I know people invested in that they're paying on monthly. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes the bill would be like 1,200. Sometimes it's like 35, depending on whatever their credit is or whatever. You know what I mean? But shit, I know these guys are paying on these cars monthly and shit, but like, why are you even paying and spending? Imagine getting that $1,200 check. Imagine getting that $3,200 check. You know what I mean? And then one of the reasons that I got my car is because, like, at first the car was a rental and it was already being rented out to different like celebs and stuff. So I picked it up simply on the premise that, okay, everybody had this in their video. I want to get it. But then for 2, I seen that as like, well, wait, if other people are renting out this car and it was already being rented out, I could just pick up shit. All I gotta do is keep up the maintenance, and I can get back in the business and shit. Rent my shit off for $1,500 a day. Rent my shit off for $2,000 a day, depending on what type of time it is, depending on the season and stuff like that. So that's one of the reasons I made the purchase. But like I said, I felt it still was dumb, just because like, what if it's not in season? Like when the whole Corona shit hit, a lot of the car rental shit kind of went out of the game, and you weren't able to get the car up. You weren't able to, oh man, I got this for $1,200, come pick it up for the day. I got it for $15, like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that shit fucked up a lot of the business. You know what I mean? So I had to do other things.
Yeah, I always laugh because I was watching TV last night, and I was just gonna post just on my Instagram story, because I'm thinking, I'm like, nobody ever does like a house reveal, or nobody ever flexes all the houses they own. All I ever see is like how many cars people have bought in the last year and stuff like that. And I always thought about that, and it's like it's interesting because that's the trend that promotes itself. First thing people talk about, you see Instagram stories, you see surveys, and those questions. It's like, which car should I get next? No one's ever talking about, hey, where should I go buy my next property? And I always find that funny. Like, I would always love to do that one day, because I own several properties, and it'd just be like, I guess it's just the culture, and I mean, I admit all the time that I'm not with it. Like I don't understand a lot of things that happen on social media. Like it's very hard for me to figure out. Like I enjoy these kind of conversations because I hear from somebody who has done that lifestyle and realized that, hey, this doesn't make sense. And now you've grown as a person, and you're coming out swinging harder because now you have assets, you're backing yourself up with other projects and other businesses, and that's truly what people should be learning from, and that's where the respect comes from. It's not from the fact that, you know, like you don't have to come in here, and this is where I talk to a lot of people. You don't have to come in here and hold an ego and be like, yeah, I bought that because, you know, I made it. You said it yourself. You're like, hey, I enjoyed it, but then when I started to take a deeper look, it's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, what am I doing? When you start to see where real wealth is and real people making real money are doing, and then you start to look and you're like, yeah, like maybe I don't need this car, and you know, who knows, maybe in 2 years, 3 years from now, you buy that car back, or you buy a different version, or whatever you do, because you're more comfortable financially, not in the sense that you don't have money, but you've made more sound decisions where you're like, hey, I'm getting passive income at like 10 or 20,000 a month now, and I'm not really working for it. Hey, so maybe I can splurge on this, like, you know, I can write it off on one of my businesses.
I understand. And what's dope about that is I like how you kind of went all the way back to breaking down the structure of how things should be. Because I got like mentors, man. And the thing is, like, once I did make a purchase like that, they told me, bro, that was the dumbest shit in the world. And then they start questioning, well, do you have this? Do you have this? Do you have this? And you got to think, like I said, bro, some people got yachts and shit. Like and the way I'm flexing, I'm like on some young, I got it out. And they like, bro, first off, chill out. Second off, you got hella levels to go. You know what I'm saying? Third off, humble yourself and really get cracking and learn. Cause like even with the car, like I said, like shit, it was the ego thing. I'm driving down the street, music bumping. I'm like, oh shit, I got the big rims. It was like boom, like just straight ego, bro, pure ego. But like I said, just having different people come into my life and kind of be like, hey man, you should chill the fuck out. If you really want to be wealthy, this is how you do it. You think that you're gonna make money over here? What are you, a day trader or some shit? Okay, so your gains are going up and down, huh? Okay, well, do you got any long-term investments? You know what I mean? And they start really breaking into like my psyche, and it's like shit. Like when you have somebody that's bigger than you, challenging you, like it kind of, it's like what the fuck, like, but you can't really challenge them back because it's like, hey, you're not really at that level. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, I gotta crush the ego and just listen, bro. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what helped me get to that next level, is just having, you know, other mentors just kind of tell me like, shit, you ain't shit, bro. What you just caught in the game. Chill out, cut the ego, and let's grow. And if you really want to get to the next level, you gotta, in a sense, shit, kill who you are today. You know what I'm saying? And become a new person. Like I feel like every time you go up a level, you take on the butterfly effect. A butterfly doesn't become or a caterpillar doesn't become a butterfly unless it's inside of the cocoon. You know what I'm saying? Boom, you got a cocoon up, you have to grow, and then you become a butterfly again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's important, and I think like this is a very good conversation. I mean, I'm reading some of the Gulag chat, and you know, people are, you know, they're making their comments and things like that. But I think when people replay this live stream, or they listen to the replay, it hits home. And this is, I wish there wasn't so much ego around finance, around being successful, because it's humbling when you start to go up those levels, when you meet somebody who's a multi-millionaire that, you know, lands in a private jet and just sort of looks at you and is like, really? Like you think you know, but you don't. And when you start running with those circles and you're now the small fish in the big pond, like you start to realize, like, I have ways to go. Like I don't even want to talk about, because you get intimidated. You don't even want to talk about what you have. Like I talk to, you know, businessmen and bankers that, you know, are very wealthy, and you know, they're talking about their ranch outside of New York City, or you know, their home in Bali, and you know, their home in Fiji and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there going, wow, okay, yeah, like, I mean, and it's like, oh yeah, we're flying over here for Christmas, and then we're gonna take the jet and fly this way over here, and you sit back and you're like, okay, I can get on a jet, and then you start to realize, like, these guys own the jet, and it's like,
but
they're paying.
You feel me?
Yeah, like they're paying fuel, they're paying maintenance, they're paying everything just to go for like a week vacation somewhere,
And it
just so
doesn't
that
even
they
affect their pockets, bro.
that's right, yeah, and it's just that's why like when you look at social media and I try and talk to people, it's like there's a bigger world out there that if people actually go up those levels, you start to see people and you start to meet people because it's just organic. Like you
Yeah.
probably know like how you met everybody. You probably can't even figure out how you met everybody. It was just, hey, I got my buddy. You meet somebody at a bar or meet somebody at a restaurant. You're having dinner. It's like, oh, I got this guy I want to introduce you to, and that's how you get introduced to these people.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it's like you realize like I'm really small. Like, and I made the comment the other week. Like I was at dinner. It's like people in Toronto, they'll spend like $8,000-9,000 at the club, right?
Yeah.
And they're going out of control, and it's like, yeah, but you're in Toronto. Like if you had that kind of money, why aren't you flying away for the weekend to Miami, or like why aren't you going somewhere where you can actually really pop
Enjoy
off,
that
right?
bread. Yeah.
So like I mean, I always really take a step back, and it's like, yeah, I enjoy the Toronto nightlife and Toronto scene, but then it's like, I'm a big fish in a small pond here. Like if I go to Vegas, people are spending 200,000-300,000 in a night.
Bro, I'm saying though.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Shit, at that poker table, at the high stakes poker table, your buy-in might be 100, bro.
Yeah, that's what I mean, right? So it's just, I think that's where financial literacy, that's what really humbles you. And that's why, like, if you look at the most successful people, they're rarely talking about what they're buying and how they're buying it, just because it's just like when you start to meet real people and people that have more than you, it's embarrassing. Like I talk to people, it's like, it honestly is, and it's not done as a slight. Like this is the thing, like businessmen don't do it as a slight, but it's just like you're not at that level. Like I still remember the conversation I had, and it was with an investment banker. And we were talking, and he's like, "Oh, for Halloween we go to my ranch. Like he has a ranch outside New York City, and he's like, I take my kids trick or treating. I have to drive them around in my truck because that's how big the properties are spread apart. So we have to go visit our neighbors. I have to drive to them." And I'm sitting here, yeah, like, but when you hear that, he wasn't doing that as an ego check.
Nah, it was
that's
his life. Like, yeah,
that's his life. He doesn't know anything better, right? And you're sitting there, I'm like, well, I never really had to get driven around for trick or treating. I just sort of walked to the next house. But they all did that, right? So when you start to listen to those stories, you start to take a step back, and you're like, man, there's levels to this game that people, it has nothing to do with Instagram. Like forget Instagram. Instagram is like just the bottom of the basement, right? Like we're just scratching the surface. But when you start to move up there, it actually gets really scary. How much wealth there is.
I feel like shit. The true multimillionaires, like it's like I know a few multimillionaires, bro. And like if you ask me what the Instagram following is, it's under like 2,000 fans, and you'd be like, well, why? But it's because the real shit is so consistent. It's not like your Instagram influencer who got to post every few days because his shit don't add up. It's like when you see the real life, it's like every day, yeah. And the thing is, like, you would think these guys will get all the followers. But at the end of the day, people are like, man, fuck that shit. Like, all dude's doing is posting in this yacht every day. Like, yeah, you're happy. But then the thing is, like, every time you look at it, because your Instagram life doesn't match up to his real life, like, it's going to make you insecure. And I feel like even for me, like, bro, I feel like, shit, I had to check myself a few times just on that shit, too. Like, a lot of people don't know, like, man, I've had so many different checks and balances. Like I said, I do have a lot of celebrity friends and people who are in the industry. So like just being able to move around and get around certain people, and you see like how the audience reacts to others other than like it's bro, the whole shit fucks you up. You know what I mean? So I felt like my most humbling experience really comes from being around people who have more than me, and for them literally to like in a sense, like I feel like males have a dick swinging contest all the time. But to be around a dick swinging contest of sharks where people are like, yeah, boom, something about a yacht. Yeah, boom, something about a plane. Yeah, boom. And you like, damn, bro, like a yacht and a fucking plane. Like, bro, hold on. Well, that plane probably cost like, what was that? Like, boom, 10 million. Okay, the yacht, that's probably like a $200 million yacht. You like, whoa, like, but then you got to think, like, how the fuck are these people amassing so much wealth, bro? Like, so, like, you know what I mean? So, like, I feel like that shit was humbling, man, just to get in some of those rooms around those movers and shakers and just be small for a minute, bro. Like, and people want to admit this shit, but yeah, I did feel insecure. Like, okay, boom, I got the fucking Rose parked outside and shit on the big shit, and you in here talking about some other bigger shit. Now I'm like, I don't want to put my keys out because my Rose is a little bit older, so let me put my shit back in real quick. Like, and soak
Yeah.
up some game. You know what I mean? So it's like,
it really does humble you, because you like, I've been to business meetings, and you drive in there, and like I drive my cars, and like same thing, I'll show up, and you got the nice watch on your wrist, and then you like, I still remember I was in one of the top floors in downtown Toronto. I was in a business meeting there. We were working on a big project. We were pitching a new business, and this man was talking at a speed that I have rarely witnessed. And I was sitting there at the other side of the boardroom table, and I was taken back, because I was like, man, this guy's like, if I don't come with proper information, this guy's just gonna rip me apart. And it was just boom, boom, boom. And it was the same thing where it's like, yeah, and you go downstairs, and he's got the Ferrari in the basement, like in the business office, right? And he drives off, but it's dirty. He doesn't care what it looks like, but it's just like, he just has it because that's par for the course, right? But like you said, when you get surrounded by people that know that they're the shit, that intimidates you. That's true intimidation, when you have somebody that has that air of confidence and has the business acumen and also the stats to back it up. That's intimidating. And when you sit down with somebody and you're trying to level up, and you're in that room with 3 or 4, like I would say, moguls that are doing big things, man, I don't even say anything. As much as I can say, I just sit quietly, because
it's not even time to talk.
No, because you don't even know what to say. How are you? And it's not a matter of you trying to compete, but it's like, you're old news. Like, you have no value. Like, you feel so small, and it's not because you're not successful. It's because your eyes are opened up to how many levels there are in the world, in terms of success, in terms of wealth, in terms of anything. And that's why I look at people, and it's like, man, if you have $1 to your pocket and you come up and talk to me, I'm good with that. Like, I will never turn people down, because I've seen that side where it's like, man, it's scary that there's that kind of. And don't get me wrong, these people are super nice. Like, you probably had the same experience. You're sitting there and they're joking with you. They're like, yo, why are you so quiet for? What are you doing? Like, how come you're not talking up? And it's because you're sitting there, it's like, I really got nothing to say. Like I can't
really
compete
just
with
to
this.
soak everything in. You know what I mean? Like, the most I've done in those type of situations is wait for everybody to say what they need to say, and then ask questions. But it's not even like I want a question, a general question. It's like, oh, you're the guy who got the yacht. Okay, well, hey man, well, how did you get that? You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not necessarily a direct, how did you get the yacht?
Yeah, you
But
can't
like,
ask that
you know what I
question.
mean?
Yeah, you can't ask that question, because you look like a total idiot. I know that, because I made those mistakes early on too, where it's like, when I started to accumulate wealth, I'd go into these meetings and be like, yeah, so did you have to buy it like that? Like, what? And they look at you weird, like what? Am I supposed to be a salesperson to you? Like, am I supposed to show you the features? And it was like, it's only until you actually sit down with them and get to know with them, then they open up on their own time. Like, I learned a lot about that. It's like, oh, especially like in Miami, people buying boats and stuff like that. It's like, oh, this is what I do, and then afterwards I'll trade this in, and I'll upgrade here, and I can do this, and you start to learn the ins and outs. But I made the mistake early on, and one day asking somebody, it's like, so how did you do that? And they're just look at you, they're like, what do you mean?
Everybody wants to tell you the secrets.
Yeah, it's just like, then you learn the code. The code is basically, when you're accepted by certain people, they let you in on everything, and then they tell you everything. They're like, hey, we're going to work on this project. We're going to cut you in here. We're going to do this, and we're going to do that. So it's getting used to that mindset where you want to learn, but you get taught you get taught when the time's right, so to speak.
I like that. You said you want to learn, but you get taught when the timer is right.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. Hey, they should look, when people watch this back, this shit is full of so many gems, bro. Like,
oh, crazy.
Yeah.
It's just good to hear some different perspectives, and I think people need to start absorbing that and understanding the true value. I mean, people are like, oh, GJ's moving up and all this other stuff. It's like, yeah, it's Friday, don't worry about it, you'll survive. But take some of this into account, because there's going to be experiences that you're going to come across as a person.
you're going to be put in scenarios like this. And it's just nice to have that kind of background where it's like, maybe now you know how to work with people. Like if you're in a networking event, or you're trying to learn from somebody that has something, you start to realize like how to sort of move in those circles, and it'll exponentially increase your value and increase your worth a lot faster than, stumbling and making these mistakes. Because I mean, I've made these mistakes. Seems like Ty's made these mistakes. Like we, at least we can tell you, like, there's certain things that you don't want to do, and now you sort of have a little bit of an edge there, where we learned it, face value, like, walking into a room and, nobody told me that this is not what you're supposed to say, and I just said it, and, suddenly you look like an idiot.
Yeah, I agree, bro. I got a question for you too. So when did you start trading?
About 6 years ago. I was working in finance since 2004. So I have a I had a university background in finance and law, and I went in 2004. I started working in the financial field. I was actually lucky. I applied to like 100 different companies as soon as I got out of university, and I got into an actual financial company. And then from there, I basically did like a job rotation program. Like I was really lucky that, the organization promoted internal growth. So I was able to go from asset management to compliance. Did a lot of work in compliance, and I worked in actually my final position, I worked in investment marketing after that. So over like 13 years, I got a lot of experience and just a lot of information in terms of, how things work and project management, things of that nature. And then, obviously the financial side of the markets and, how things work internally. So it did really well. I think for me, the biggest thing that I've learned, the biggest turning point for my trading was patience. I think that's the biggest thing people struggle with. And I work with a lot of people that have those issues. It's because you see things coming, and you're afraid that if you don't enter now, you're going to miss it. That's the biggest struggle from a new trader standpoint. And I had that. I would enter a position because I'm like, oh man, if I don't get in, what if it goes down and I'm not there? And now you're stuck in drawdown. You're sitting there. You're like, oh, this was stupid. Why did I do this? And then, as you mature as a trader, you start to realize, you're like, man, this move like, 20, 30, 100 pips. Like I didn't need to be in the drawdown for 2 hours. I could have waited 2 hours and I could have caught it with no drawdown. And I think that's the epiphany of when you start to realize what trading is. You start to see so much of the markets and you experience so much. Man, there's big moves every day. Like this move on GJ, you'll catch this the next week. Like it's not a big deal. And the people that are worried about it, it's like they've never seen it before, right? And it scares them because they're like, well, I could have caught this and now I can't. Like, what do I do? Excuse me. And it's like, man, next week you're gonna see the exact same thing again. Like
for me, I take it light on Fridays. I was not to cut you off, but I was gonna say for me, I take it light on Fridays. And I really try to, like, if I'm a swing, like I just don't even look at my phone because Fridays, bro, that shit's an interesting day. You know what I mean? But shit, usually, bro, like I'll try to get out of market like Thursdays. I really try to trade Monday through Thursday. If I can find opportunity on like Sunday, it's like, oh, okay, I may be able to get into like the early trend. But overall, bro, like I wouldn't even try to fuck with the market until Monday, like early morning Monday, maybe like 3 o'clock my time. So early morning Monday, and then probably like late Thursday or early evening Thursday. That's when I look to start tightening shit up. If I need to put in stops, okay, boom, stops, and I can try to swing it. That's if it allows me to swing. Like I've been trying to swing for a minute, bro. To be honest, like I've been getting taken out. You feel me? Just hitting my trailing stops just because fucking of the volatility, and then really because I've been playing my stops hella tight. So I feel like even with next week coming in, like shit, I'm gonna just have to basically reset, find myself a position, and really I've been trying to get in trend with the economy because I'm thinking long term. Like I'm looking at all these long term companies and stuff, and as they do their thing, I'm looking at like the Dow Jones. That's like the top 30 companies. So I'm looking at the Dow, like okay, well shit, I'm really trying to find a great position in and just ride that joint until it gets to like 30K. You know what I mean? Or wherever it wants to go to eventually, kind of like how I was able to do with NAS. You know what I mean? But shit, us 30 wasn't really trying to give me all the shit that I wanted to get. You know what I mean? So I feel like before it reaches 30, I'm gonna really have to do a lot of in and out before I could really get in and find a position. Because I'm more so of like a position trader. Like if I think of it like the stock market. Like if I could take a position now or buy at the lowest value, okay, I'm not looking to exit for 6 months. I'm not looking to exit for a year. Or if it pays dividends, fuck it. I just need to wait for the price to come down again, stack up again, and I can get more dividends. You know what I mean? So it's like that's kind of how I take my approach with the marketplace and with Forex and stuff. You know.
Ty, I got a quick question for you because I was just looking through your Instagram and I saw a post that you made because you took a couple trades on Sunday and we were talking about like taking trades on Friday just to minimize risk and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
So you did take a couple trades on the Dow Jones on a Sunday. So fuck it. I'm just gonna go ahead and take it, right?
Yeah.
How does that work for you as soon as the market opens?
Okay, so it's like this. So sometimes with the Dow, as soon as market opens, it might just get busy, right? But usually whatever direction it goes in, like it starts, let's say Sunday opens and it starts going bullish. That's usually gonna be the whole trend the entire Sunday. You know what I mean? So it's like, you just kind of got to be in early. So if you can, like my time, it's like, what is it? Like 3 p.m. or something that the shit opens, or 3:30, I forgot, whichever one of those times. So you kind of got to be in just early, wait for that little gap. The spreads are going to be high as fuck. I wouldn't say to do it just because it's hella risky. You know what I mean? But once you see that first move, boom, just buy or sell. Easy call, let that bitch rock. And now currencies are much different. But for like US 30, bro, like if you could catch that motherfucker on a bounce, like you'll notice, go look at all the US 30 gaps, like on the weekend coming in, you will notice the gap, literally, boom, it gaps and it goes in one direction. If it's down, it just goes down, and that's what it is, because that's how the pair moves. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's pretty much, I guess that's my strategy on Sunday if I do get in. But other than that, like sometimes I may have to wait and just find an opportunity. Let's say I missed that first burst. If I miss the first burst, I'm not gonna fuck with it at all. Just for the simple fact that it's like, okay, I know that the Dow Jones or the indexes, I know that their retests are so ruthless. It's like, okay, bro, shit, you might be up 100 points and then it slips back 101 points and then it pushes back 200 points all in 5 minutes. Like, what the fuck?
yeah, no, that happens.
Shit.
I trade the S&P since it moves about the same.
Okay. Hey, it's much less volatile too.
Yeah, the S&P is a little less volatile than the Dow.
But
hey Tyler, morning. This is Kerwin over here.
What's
I have
up?
a question. Yeah, man. I have a question, man. When you trade US 30 Dow, let's say you're entering a certain level, how many points is your stop loss?
Usually like 50 to 75.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
So that'll let me know early on, because like I said, like the Dow is a bitch, bro. You know what I mean? So the thing is, it's just like I'm trying to know early on if I'm right or wrong. So if I'm wrong, let me be wrong early on so I can adjust. You know what I mean? So that's really how I play it like that. Or sometimes I may get fucking stop hunted. So it's like, boom, I enter and then get stop hunted and then it go the other way. And it's like, damn, I got to take another entry. I was like, my entry was good though, but like we're trading, but then our brokers are trading too. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know how it goes.
Yeah, no, makes sense. Yeah, it happens. The same happens to me.
Yeah.
Usually when and this is the thing with US 30, I find it easy because when it's trending, I mean, let's say it's rallying the entire day.
Okay.
So it was rallying since London, New York, and then you have an Asian session. So as soon the 4-hour candle opened 9:30 p.m. my time in Miami, man, that shit start dropping. That's gonna be a nice drop toward London. It's gonna correct the price almost 50%.
Mez knows the market. Okay, you understand the session times. Because really, I'm listening to you. I'm like, hold on, you talking about session times now? Like, and that's a big thing about us 32, bro. So just me sitting back listening to you talk about the session times, like, you know your shit.
Yeah, I find easy. To be honest, US 30 for me, it's easy. Sometimes when it's in those heavy moves, and it's the same. If it's trending, you have this small resistance on 5 minutes. As soon as start breaking those resistance, man, just grab that shit and let it run.
Big facts.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I got a question for you guys. Like, so look, so when I was making this Forex music shit, right? Like nobody was rocking with me. I'm gonna keep it buck with you. Nobody was rocking with me. I guess I kind of like had to force it on. I had to force it on people or whatever. But the thing is this. So my whole goal behind the music was I wanted us all to be able to trade and listen to music together. You know what I mean? And my idea was if we can have a community that did this, like, what would that look like? And it wasn't like I was trying to be the leader at it or whatever, but it was just the whole fact that I wanted to know, like, what would that look like? And could we possibly all be at a concert trading and having fun at the same time? But then, like, you would make money doing that in a sense, right?
Run that shit,
But you feel me? So then I was like, holy shit, like, whoa, I'm fucking mind blown. Like, so we can like move the markets through music, but then like, shit, Donald Trump moves the market through fucking tweets. And this is Twitter. You know what I mean? So yeah. I'm like, yo, what if we got a lot of traders listening to, like, we needed our own type of vibe. Like, I was fucking trading, listening to like, yeah, I'm about to run up in the house, boom, 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 boom. It's like, yeah, this is my shit, but it's like, but you ain't talking that Forex shit though. So it's like, I'm vibing, dog. I'm here with you, but then it's like I'm not here with you because like I'm trading right now. I need some of that. If I was like, I need the shit to be raw enough. You know what I mean? I need it to be raw, and I need it to be like shit hooding up the bot, bro. So I feel like that's what really got me into doing the Forex shit. But I don't know. Have you guys listened to anything yet or not?
Yeah,
no,
it's kind of like drill music.
Haven't yet.
This is my music. The noise, the chaos. This streaming is my music. Like, this is my music right here. I can't trade alone, so I log on to the stream and I listen to Rakeel talk, and whoever jumps on and interrupt him. Like, I trade in chaos. I can't trade it. Listen to news. I can't trade in silence. I have to trade in chaos. So, you know,
man, what I mean, this is actually chaos. I like that.
Yeah, it's actually good for my mental because it helps me think clearly. Because when Rakeel's looking at something and he pulls up a chart, like, I might see something different, or I might agree with that trade that he's looking at. So, like, this is my therapy for me.
Until you listen to some of that trade music and that shit telling you to buy out support, you like, oh, I'm about to buy out support.
Price come to support. You take a buy on the support. Buy on the support.
So you like, hell yeah, and I'm on that shit. So I know that's kind of like what I throw in there and shit though, you know. So
yeah. So where can we find your music?
Well, shit, every platform, YouTube, Spotify, shit. I got like if you go down and you see where it says best highlights, there's like all the songs right there. So it's like you go back to the home and then you go to best highlights. It's kind of like right there. Like the first little shit. So the latest song I did was called like Forex Lifestyle. So in a sense, it was like shit. I don't know, a song about the lifestyle.
Yeah, I used to make music too. You know?
Real shit?
Yeah. I used to make music
Rakeel has some good raps,
man.
Hey,
you said Roger Collab, what's up?
Roger can rap.
Yo, throw me a beat.
Hey.
Throw me a beatbox. Come on.
Hey.
All right, let me see.
Man.
Do I got the beatbox?
Tim man,
Roger,
drop the
don't
beat.
split no bars, man. You're 16.
We need a
What do you mean, bro? No.
Drop the beat, Tim.
Your 16 is like old school rap, man.
Nah, drop it.
Hey, man, shooting on you. Say you want to drop it. I think he got it, bro.
Drop it.
All right, let's do it.
I think you have the facilities.
All right, let me see what I got.
Raining hot, it's raining low. Let's all get naked, start the show. Give me yo clothes before the show. Feeling like a mofo, but you're happy though. My dog is we pimping here and everywhere. We ain't gonna share no dicks with those pricks, but you had the tick. The bomb blows and your mom explodes. She tease me, please me. She ain't gonna leave me, sue me, kill me, pussies. Bitches wanna keep me. Oh. Yeah.
What's up?
Damn.
Let's go.
If this was the 80s, man, if this was the 80s, man, you go diamond, bro.
Let's go.
Man, hey, you know what I like about this stream? Yo, we got Roger out of his element, bro. I was able to get him to dance and rap this stream. What's up?
Yeah, let's go.
Cause I told my chat, I was like, yo, I'm gonna see if I can have Roger do the Forex dance, bro. And bro actually did it. Like, what?
Gotta say, man, you're one of my favorite guests, man. There's two top two guests that ever came to You're number one,
agreement.
and the zoo is second, man.
Yeah.
The zoo is
The
second.
zoo? The zoo, yeah, the goats.
Yeah.
The
Oh yeah,
the goats.
I appreciate that, man. No, you guys have great energy as well. I always like I said, when I got on here, I didn't know what to expect. You know what I mean? Like I remember the energy from me watching you a few months back, and on one of the streams, GJ was busting you like, "Oh my God, motherfucker, go, 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 go!" And that's what really got me pumped up. Like, oh, so I thought we are gonna be on that today, but really like to come here and just drop and exchange knowledge, bro. I feel like that's like the beautiful science of the community right there. I really feel like this stream is gonna be historic, bro, just because like it's like a clash of both worlds. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people felt like, oh, I got this big crazy ego, but they don't really know me, bro. They haven't seen me in different type of environments to understand like I'm really just chill as fuck. But you may get this aggressiveness because like, yeah, I do roast niggas all the time. I really like that's our thing though. Like I have fun roasting people. Like if somebody's like, oh, I'm a multi-trillionaire. Like, bro, no, the fuck you not, bro. Like you talk about this guy right here. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you feel me? So it's like for me, it's lighthearted, it's fun, it's funny. But outside of that, like, bro, I don't really have no ego. And I really do fuck with people that fuck with me. Yeah, but if you don't fuck with me, then I don't fuck with you.
Yeah, no, actually, it's pretty good.
That was good.
But yo, listen, guys, I'm way beyond my time here today. Way beyond my time here today.
Okay, man.
You guys kept me here for overtime.
That was your singing, bro. That was your singing.
That's Michael Power, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But bro, thank you so much. You showed up, man. I really appreciate it. You took the time out of your busy morning.
Yes.
You know, it was a
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
I think we have to do this very often, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I said, I wanna rock with you guys. I love this right here. I love the fact that you go live. I'm down to come on whenever. Just reach out. You know what I'm saying? I'm still building on my channel, and then send me your info, bro, so I can get you a hoodie over there and shit. All you guys, so just let me know the sizes and stuff, bro, and let's see if we can get you in a hoodie, man, and let's start building, bro.
Yeah, but get on, or actually, like you know, if we can have a link up for like let's say a week, you know, we can have a link up for a week, and then whoever wants to order the order, and then you know. Yeah, we're good.
I'm not dropping the second part of the line until next Friday, bro. A lot of people are asking me when I'm dropping because I've been releasing merch in season, so I'm not dropping season 2 until next Friday. But I will get you these. Like I discontinued these, bro. Like nobody will be able to buy them until they hit like a StockX or something like that. Just for the simple fact, like I really want to retain the value. So like that's just what it is. You know what I mean? So you do have something that people can't get now, bro. Like. When I was selling it, like people were able to buy it, but nobody's gonna be able to buy this. And if they do, then you already know, like you got every right to tax. Because when I was selling it, it was like 100. But now it's discontinued, and a lot of people, as we keep growing, like they're gonna want it. So like by next year, and you can't get it, shit, your hoodie might go from I don't know, bro. You might be able to sell that bitch on StockX for like 1,000. Let's say I just blow up as an artist or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, well, it gets a little bit bigger than that now because I touched it. You know, like you starting to give me.
Yeah. Now it has that value. Yeah, no, it's good, man.
Bro, but do your thing, man. I don't mean to keep you on here. You know what I'm saying? If you need to take off, do your thing. And I do appreciate you guys, you know, inviting me on. I will post like the re-upload on my channel and stuff and tag everybody. But nah, fuck with y'all, man. Y'all
thank
vibe,
you, brother.
Bro.
Thank you,
hey,
bro.
A lot of people saying thank you on the gulag and on the chat.
Hey, what up, the gulag?
Gulag. They're fighting out there.
That's funny.
All right, everybody. Have a great weekend.
All right.
Okay. Shukriya, Raja. See you tomorrow, buddy.